What is up, Bulldog Nation?
I'm Micah Harris.
I'm Matt Tanner. Thank you for checking out the Doghouse again. Episode number 79, Season 2, Episode 38, Micah.
That's another milestone.
Another milestone, almost number 80.
80.
And we've got number 80 scheduled already.
Yeah, I was fixing to say we do.
Yep, and so we'll be laying that out. Probably the mid part. Usually on Wednesdays is when I try to get the next week's guests coming out. So we'll get that out on Wednesday, actually the first night of the rodeo.
Right.
And I hope when you listen to this, if you haven't heard the JCs on, that's actually out right now. But this will come out Saturday morning.
We sure make a listen.
Absolutely. We were just talking about this before.
Yeah, I was a little leery, being like we'd got the history of the JCs last year. And
everybody's got a story, Micah.
Everybody does have a story.
That's right.
And I was kind of worried. I was like, what are they going to tell? But we talked a lot about what's going on now.
Right.
With the JCs.
A lot of changes, a lot of good changes.
Yep.
And so I hope you'll go back and give it a listen. If you're listening to this one, go check them out and go check out all our other ones as well. Like to give a shout out to our two broadcast partners. First, and certainly not in any order, but Mercy Phoenix, Mr. Jody Cheney, Mr. Tucker Cheney, and all of their family. Mercy Phoenix, they are a top-notch, the best in the region healthcare planning organization. They can provide healthcare solutions for you, and such as RNs, EMTs, EMS, and they can fill gaps that you have, but they also, on the other side of that, if you are an EMT or an EMS or an RN or any of the alphabet soup, I suppose, of those, they have positions available.
Right. I've seen some nursing positions.
Right. RN is what they just had, or I noticed I shared recently, and so they have some of those open, and they are a healthcare staffing company. They are continually looking for folks to add to their roster to fill positions all the time. They have some very lucrative positions along with stipends and housing and all those things. Don't hold me to all this, but I just know that they have a lot of that available.
And I think the one that I shared the other day was about ER nurses, I think.
Micah. I can't recall. You can go back and look on the Doghouse Facebook page or Matt or Micah's personal Facebook page, and it will be on there. And we couldn't do what we do without them. And we are very proud that they're a partner with us. And also our other partner is Green Grass Guys, your turf management specialist, Mr. D. Bizzle, Mr. David Bizzle. And, man, they are, again, we just call them wizards. They can turn something into or nothing into something. Excuse me, I said it backwards. Nothing into something. They take care of all the Sikeston athletic fields, the soccer fields, football fields, the baseball fields, anything that's got turf on it, they can take care of it.
And they not only cover here in Sikeston, they cover the whole area.
Right.
Pretty well the whole boot hill.
I was going to say, D, they go
from
up
St. John down, I think.
To the state lines, way I understand them, as far maybe past Popper Bluff-ish.
And I think at least Popper Bluff.
Yeah, going further west, and of course then they go east to the river. So they are your go-to when it comes to that. Yeah, and I about hit that dadgum cord again, Mike. We're still good, right?
Yeah, we're good.
Mike and I started once, and I hit the dadgum cord and knocked it out and had to start over again. So fortunately, we weren't very far. I'm going to keep my hands, have to sit on them, I guess. But anyway, we couldn't do what we do without our two partners, and we are very, very proud that they are aligned with us on what we do. And again, rising tide lifts all boats, and they fully believe in that as well. Again, get to some shout outs. Shout out to Luke. He'll have some graphics and audio visual things here on the TV that's behind Micah and me when our guest is here. Shout out to Erin, our host. She's always very willing and able to entertain our host while Micah and I typically record this first part. Shout out to Justin, our general counsel and general nuisance. Mr. Tucker Cheney for his video editing expertise. Mr. Derek James, Mr. Brian James for their sports history, sports lore, stats, background, certainly anything Bulldog sports, and mostly
Southeast
Missouri sports. Very, very knowledgeable. Very happy to have them in our phone a friend, basically. And certainly last but not least, Mr. Tyler Anderson, Twisted Arrow Woodworking, and our cool sign on the wall that you will be able to see in our podcast, kind of sticking straight above the TV. Micah?
My wonderful wife, Becky.
Yes.
I appreciate her letting me come and do this tonight. I think she's out eating dinner or something. So.
Doing something fun while we're here working.
Yeah. That's
all right. Shout out to her. And this week, I would like to give a shout out to one of our loyal listeners, Mr. Joey Seiler. He was sending me some Facebook messages and kind of going back and forth, and he said he got tickled at me when we got to talking about those flank straps or whatever, thinking they had them tied somewhere else, and he said he was going, don't say it, Matt, I alluded to it because that's what I thought really happened, and he said no, and his son was in rodeo, and Joey still follows the sport, and he said that's probably one of the biggest
misconceptions.
Yes, of what's going on, and it's just really kind of on their belly, and it's uncomfortable for them, so they're trying to get it off. And of course, I've
thought that for years too. So
yeah, we had some funny comments going back and forth, and I guess I'll leave it at that. But we did have some funny comments, and then he said he liked Chad Allen's interview as well. And he knew some things about Chad and thought that was really cool. And we got into kind of went down the rabbit hole a little bit with Misha and should we go into private, public classifications. And
now, isn't there big changes this year can't they go up more than 2 classes?
Yeah, that's what they've done. He and I didn't necessarily talk about that, but we got into the whole private, public thing. And so he and I pretty well agree on that. So, yeah. But
I'll be honest with you. I mean, we have teams like Notre Dame, and I don't know. I love that there's another team, they're a competitive team that we can compete against too.
Yeah, I think it's just I don't think it's not playing them in the regular season. I think it's more of the playoffs. Yeah. And that's kind of what we talked about. But anyway, shout out to Mr. Joey Seiler. We appreciate you being a loyal listener and checking out our podcast. Thank you very much. Again, we couldn't do it without our listeners.
We couldn't. I guess this week, I don't know, did you see the junior high went to, I guess it was probably one of their first 7-on-7s ever, I think, probably.
I did not see that.
One of the only ones. I mean, evidently they've had a 2-week camp, kind of 10 days.
I did see the camp. I didn't realize they did a
7-on-7. I think they had to participate in at least half of the camps or something like that.
Okay.
And they had a 7-on-7 last night. I've seen some pictures of it. I don't know how we did or anything, but
awesome.
Looked like we had quite a few kids out there.
Awesome. That's our next varsity.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
While you're at it, while you are listening, please give us a like, share, follow, review, comment, all those things on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Please go subscribe on YouTube and follow us there. You can see the videos. And for the first time, if I can, as long as I can remember, and I'll make myself some notes, I want to have captions on our YouTube video. I figured out how to do that.
Okay.
There was an update on I use Final Cut Pro as the software, and there's an update, and basically I can click it, and it puts on captions at the bottom. So I really like that. So that will be an option this week. The captions are on the little reels that I have.
Yeah.
The program that I use for that puts those on there, but this will come from YouTube direct, or I'm sorry, from software.
Okay.
Yeah, Final Cut Pro, and it'll put that out there. So anyway, please give us a share, follow, subscribe, review, comment, all those things as well. You can catch our podcast on Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, FM Player, and several others, as well as our embedded player on our website, thedoghouse.buzzsprout.com, and you can check that out and listen to all of our previous episodes. If you need to send us an email at doghouse.sikeston@gmail.com. And if you are interested in being a partner with us, please reach out. We are always open to that, and we would love to be able to present your business on here and be able to help you as well in our Another sponsor that we do have is the Bunker Golf 365. If you're looking for a way to improve your game or just a way to have fun, if it's too hot or too cold, you can go in there and use their TrackMan machines, and they've got all kinds of unbelievable data in it. Like, if you geek out on that stuff, which I tend to do when it comes to golf, they've got more than enough data to let you geek out with. Also, we've got swag available for us, and if it's something you're interested in, please give us a shout. And this week, our guest is Mr. Andy McGill, the new superintendent of Sikeston R6.
Been at it almost a month now, right?
It's about a month now. That's right. And I don't speak for the school board, but I, for one, as on the school board, am very proud that Andy is leading our district, and we look forward to the good things he's going to have for us, and we'll get into that in just a minute, and just stick with us through this break. Hey, thanks for sticking with us through that short break, and we are now moving on to our esteemed guest. Micah, this will be our second superintendent on here.
It is our second superintendent.
We had the previous one on, and so now we're moving on to our newly minted.
Very new.
Very new. I'm going to read an intro, then we'll get rolling. Today's guest represents something that's never happened before in Sikeston R6 history. Andy McGill is the first Sikeston High School graduate to return home and serve as superintendent of the school district. Andy is a proud member of the SHS class of 1995, and his connection to the community goes far beyond his job title. His wife, Sarah, is also a 1995 Sikeston graduate and now teaches in the district. Their two sons are current students at Sikeston R6, giving Andy a unique perspective as a former student, educator, administrator, husband, and parent, all at the same time. Throughout his career, Andy has served the district in multiple leadership roles, learning every aspect of what it takes to help students succeed. Now he's leading the very school system that helped shape his own life. Today we'll talk about his journey from Bulldog student to superintendent, the people who influenced him along the way, the challenges and opportunities facing public education today, and his vision for the future of Sikeston R6 schools. We'll also discuss what it means to raise his own family in the district he now leads and why he believes the best days for Sikeston schools are ahead.
Welcome to the doghouse.
Thanks
Andy,
for having me.
Absolutely. Welcome to the doghouse. That's quite...
That's probably the longest intro we've had.
Sorry. It's kind of like a Baptist prayer. I didn't know we were going to end here.
No, that's good, though.
Yeah, that's right. Just for...
I fooled a few people. Right?
You did. You fooled 7. That was the main one.
You're right.
I told him, I was like, when after we voted and we called him, I was like, well, it was 6-1, by the way. I will let you guess who the one was. So, just for the record, and we talked about this before, somebody don't try to prove us wrong and all this stuff. Tell the story how we still think you are the only alum.
So I think we got to fact check it. Maybe I don't know how you fact check it, but according to my father-in-law, Rick Adams,
we keep mentioning Rick quite a lot on
2 weeks in a row.
We mentioned him on the
and
JC one as well.
He's been on here.
Yes, exactly.
Well,
so
he's got his fingerprints and his hand definitely in Sikeston community,
no doubt,
for various reasons.
No
too.
Doubt,
but he is a historian of sorts of many different things. But I would say I would say he's pretty accurate. When he told me after I told him that I'm going to be the next superintendent, he said, "Well, I think you might be the first alum, Sikeston alum, to be the Sikeston superintendent." And I said, "You know that for sure?" And he goes, "Well, I think all the way back to when I was in school, there never has been one. Now, prior to me, I'm not 100% sure on that." So
the school, what was it, like 1911? Is that?
You're not talking about Rick.
No.
That's why. That's why.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I was making sure too.
I think the school. Don't hold me to this, and gosh, you think I might know?
Yeah. Well, you think I probably should know too, right?
Well, I mean, I think it was 1911. So, and Rick's, he told me he was in grade school in in the 50s or something like that.
Yep, in the 50s. I don't know the exact.
Yeah, and so from that point,
right?
Because even like Dr. Buchanan, I understand he's Bernie or Malden or something like that. I think is where he's from, Bernie. Again, don't quote me on that, but I think that's right. And Mr. Twitty before that, Dr. Harbin, kind of all that.
We've had a lot of really good superintendents, but just none that have graduated and walked the hallways of Sikeston Public Schools.
That's right. Yep. And so certainly we didn't go, let's see if we can get an alum and be the superintendent kind of thing. It worked out. That it was just that way. And so tell us kind of how we got here. Tell us your path. Tell us, I always say we burn up pretty good content upstairs while we're sitting there talking. You gave us a good history of kind of where you started and kind of how we got here.
The other thing I'm proud of, I went to kindergarten here. So I wasn't in Sikeston the entire time. So I'm not sure if you knew that or not.
I think I did know that.
But I did start kindergarten, and I did go to first grade at Matthews.
Which kindergarten were you at?
I was at the new one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it must have been fairly new.
Had to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Went to the new one, or the one we have now.
Yeah.
And then went to Matthews, then moved away over to the Kansas City area for a few years, then moved to St. Louis, and then moved back to Sikeston my 9th grade year. Now, we weren't in high school at that time.
Nope.
It was 8th and 9th grade was the junior high, which is actually the middle school now.
Right.
But moved back to Sikeston and then graduated here 9 through 12 and played football and track and was involved in quite a few things, and then graduated from Sikeston in 1995. Great class. In fact, there are a lot of teachers, I will not name them, but they say that the class of 1995 might be the best class they've ever taught.
Here we go.
I just want to throw that out there. I know that might ruffle some feathers.
That would be contested. I can tell you by some other grades, more specifically 89.
But I could try to bring in some content and get some vocals if you need me to bring that in, and you can plug it in later on.
I love it.
But 1995 graduated and then went to William Jewell College. William Jewell is located in Liberty, Missouri, which is just outside of Kansas City.
Okay.
Yeah, just north of Kansas City.
Okay.
I was fortunate to play football there. I also did track.
I did not know that.
I did do track. I did not run a marathon. I did not run a marathon. I did not run the mile. No long distance.
You're Deion Sanders before Deion Sanders was. Two-sport athlete.
And here's a fun fact that if you didn't know, I did track, and Derek James is our historian, right?
We talk about Derek every week.
He actually, I think, was working for the paper and wrote an article about me because I broke the school record, William Jewell school record, hammer throw. I threw the hammer throw.
We didn't have hammer throw in high school, did we?
No, still don't.
Right. Is Misha? That's not even a thing.
No, it's not. This was in college.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess where I was going was, how in the heck do you train? I mean, you just go, I don't think I'd be cool to do that.
Well, I threw shot and disc at Sikeston.
Okay.
Was throwing shot, and the shot it weighs different in college. We had indoor track and outdoor track, and I participated in both.
Is that 2 different seasons?
2 different seasons. Indoor is winter season during basketball.
Oh, okay.
And then did hammer throw. So the weight throw, it's not hammer throw indoors. It's a weight throw. It's actually 35 pounds, and you still have the same technique for the hammer. But I was not nearly as good at that because the 35 pounds versus the 16 pounds, and it's a longer chain, chain on the hammer throw. And so now I will say this: I think they only had hammer throw for about 5 or 6 years prior to that.
It was the first year I set the record,
and I did not have a coach. I am proud of that. We had a throw coach, but they didn't really know much about it. So I kind of learned and kind of taught myself. But
it's kind of
proud of that.
That's pre-Google and everything.
And pre-YouTube and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Let me pull up a video of hammer throw.
Well, we had VHS tapes back then training tapes that I used. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So graduated, and I will be, and another thing I'm proud of is I graduated in 4 years. I felt like I had to graduate in 4 years because I was on limited scholarship, and I was actually an RA for my fraternity, which was very difficult if you can imagine being an RA in actually an all-boys fraternity.
You're the, what do we call, on school board, hall monitor?
I was the hall monitor.
Like Peter Brady, the hall monitor.
I was the hall monitor.
Don't you be right.
William Jewell is a Baptist school, so we actually had hours visiting hours for the opposite sex that could come
Co-ed
in.
hours or whatever.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, I was the hall monitor, the police, or whatever. So it was not.
I'm sure you were not hated at all. I'm sure everybody loved you.
Yeah. Well, it helped pay the bills because
Of course.
I got room and board taken care of that way too.
I get it. I'm giving
so
you
that
grief.
helped. But yes, I wasn't always the fun guy.
Fun. He's the fun ruiner, thief of joy.
So you were like busy in college then.
Yeah, I did that. I also did work study. So I would actually do the laundry for a basketball team, and I would actually work. That's when I first started working tables. So when I came back to Sikeston, we'll talk about that when I worked. But I would work the clock and do all that kind of stuff. Did the shot clock back in college. We had shot clock back then. And
Wait,
so,
did you run the clock?
yes.
Was that you?
Yes.
I thought that
I'll
was
let you tell the story. No, I'll let you tell the story.
No, I can't remember. I was just asking. I've had that removed. I've had a frontal lobotomy and I had that removed, Andy. I can't recall.
I called Brian James that next morning and I said, I promise you I started it on time. I promise you.
It's when we lost to Notre Dame when they hit a 3 at the buzzer in 2007.
Yeah, I can't remember. Again, we'll have to get the James brothers on how much exact time there was.
They'll know specifically.
There was 3 seconds.
I mean,
or
it was
whatever. It was minimal, but I definitely started on time. I promise you.
Yeah, no,
So,
I
would
would
not have delayed it.
Of course, no. Yeah, if anything, you'd want to start it early. Exactly.
Yes.
No. If there's one thing about Andy, it's going to be done correct and to the rules and all that stuff. I couldn't remember if it was you or Sheeter.
No, I think Sheeter was probably doing the book, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
So.
Yeah. So you were the one.
Yeah, I was the one. But I learned it from William Jewell.
You did. No,
I got paid to do that. So anyway, Jewell was a good time for me. And then after I graduated, I was fortunate to get hired on to coach football. And I coached football there for 2.5 years. Coached defensive line and then moved to offensive line after that. And then after 2.5 years, I got the opportunity to go to Southeast Missouri State and coached at SEMO for about a little over 4 years. Became a GA my first 2 years there, where I was a graduate assistant, got my master's at that time, and then got hired on full time after that. So,
well, where in this story? So you're talking about 2007. So you're talking about early 2000s at this point, right?
So I think I came to Sikeston in 2002, possibly.
And that's after.
That was after SEMO.
Okay.
So, no, I'm sorry. 2005, I think, is my first year at Sikeston.
Okay.
So it would have been 2001. Yes, because 2001, September 11th, I was at SEMO.
Oh, okay.
I was coaching at SEMO. In fact, we were one of, I think, 3 football games that weekend after September 11th.
Yeah, because it was like a Thursday.
It was against Missouri State. Is who we
It was
played.
on a Thursday.
No, I thought it was on a Tuesday.
You know, it was a Tuesday.
I think it was a
okay.
Tuesday.
That's
I remember
right.
being in
That's
class because I was at SEMO too.
Yeah.
I was
So, and then we had a game against Southwest Missouri State at that time. I think, not Missouri State, but we had a game that Saturday
Cape?
at Cape.
Oh, wow.
At Cape. There was a lot of,
Should we have it?
should we have it, not have it? I mean, are there going to be other attacks? All that kind of stuff. A lot of uncertainty, of course. And as you know, I'm not sure if you realize, that's the 25th anniversary this year.
Yes, it is.
I remember. Yeah. Somebody was talking about that. When they said it, I was like, "Oh crap! It has been 25 years.
25 years.
Holy cow!"
So,
So where did you and Sarah link back up? Because she was in D.C., right?
right. So, I guess maybe I should bring up my wife.
Well, no. I'm asking more.
So Sarah graduated in '95, the best class of Sikeston history, right? So she graduated.
Allegedly.
she graduated. We graduated together. We actually didn't start dating until our second semester of our senior year.
Okay.
We were good friends. In fact, we met when I got to Sikeston my freshman year. I played in the band, and she was in the band, and we met, and we were good friends, and met at band camp with Mr. Cowens, was our
Mr. Cowan, rest in peace.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mr. Cowan was our. In fact, Mr. Cowan came to see me before band camp, asking me if I come because he heard that I moved in and heard that I played the trumpet and wanted me to make sure that I was there. So, which
Okay.
is interesting as a home visit of somebody that just moved in,
Yeah.
which is interesting. But
Correct.
going back to your original question, we dated all off and on, more on than off, throughout college and then
Okay.
coaching.
Where did she go to school?
She went to Mizzou.
Mizzou, yeah, okay, yeah.
So she'd come and watch some of our football games, and I go on some off days or whatever. And so we dated throughout. I would go to her sorority stuff. She'd come to my fraternity stuff, things
Right.
like that.
But she went to
did go
D.C. at some point,
She went to
right?
D.C. in the summers.
Oh, okay.
And then she got hired on right after she graduated from Mizzou in 1999.
Right.
She was out there for a year.
Okay.
We still dated, and then she came back, and she actually replaced Mr. Depro. She was a
That I did not know.
She was a social studies teacher and came back to Sikeston, and she actually got hired, I think, 4 years prior to when I even got hired at Sikeston. So
Right.
she was a teacher for 4 years.
So
I
she's
was
going to
still-
retire before you are.
Yes, she is. The idea that she wants to retire when Jack graduates.
I see.
So
Yeah.
that's the plan for her. I like for her to wait and see when I retire, and she hold out. So I don't want her to have all the fun while I'm still working.
You're
Right?
still working, grinding away, and she's at home sitting around doing nothing.
Yeah. So I was still in Kansas City actually when she came to Sikeston. I was still coaching at Jewel. In fact, we got engaged in Kansas City. She came up to see me one weekend, and then we got engaged that one weekend, and she was in Sikeston.
Okay.
Her first year. Her
Okay.
first year teaching.
Okay. So
So that would have been
99, you said?
no, that would have
Oh.
been
Oh no, she got out of college in 99.
yeah, 2000. Yeah, 2000. Right, yeah,
2000, because
prior 2000.
Yeah.
Or the spring of 01.
Oh, okay.
Because my first year at SEMO would have been the fall of 01.
I don't mean to throw all these trick questions
no,
at
I know,
you.
man. We got. I do remember.
I was
when
thinking,
we got married.
Do you remember the anniversary?
We got married in 02.
Okay, there
so,
you go.
So I do know that, and
Okay.
then our 25th anniversary is next year. So
There
I
we
do-
go.
So I got to
put it
piece
on
all
your
that
calendar.
Piece it all. No, it's already on my calendar. Yeah. That's how I remember. That's how I remember.
Same. I'm with you, brother. I'm with
Speaking
you.
of calendar, I think somebody was saying the other day that you did a really good job at keeping the school calendar in recent years. I mean, that was a big.
That was one of my duties. The athletic director is in charge of the school calendar and all that. And I kind of take pride in some organization. I feel like that's a niche that I have. And my kids hate, and I know we're getting off subject.
No,
here, but
no.
my kids and Sarah makes fun of me because I write an agenda and itinerary for all our vacations and things that we do.
Again,
So-
fun ruiner.
Yeah, well, we're going to be organized. So when we go to Disney World, we know exactly what we're going to do that day, where we're going, and how
Do you
we're
know the
doing it.
rides and all?
Yeah, know the rides. Yeah, I got an
Oh,
Excel
my.
sheet that I've given to many people. And,
Oh
and
my!
yes, I got a Google sheet. I know I'm a dork. I'm okay with that.
Well, it was Scotty Zell that told me that you took over the calendar and it made sense after that. or-
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong about being organized.
Well, we go to New York. We this is where we're going to go. This is what we're going to do.
Well, we're going over Thanksgiving, and maybe
You're going to New York? My
Yes.
dad will be there.
really
That's the 100th anniversary of the Macy's Day Parade. Did you know that?
no, I did not know.
That's why he's going. We went for Macy's Day Parade
You
2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah,
so I
I-
have the itinerary if you want
Okay,
that.
yeah.
I got all the apps that you might need. And again, I'm a
You know
dork,
what?
and I'm sorry that I'm putting this on.
No,
on social
no,
media
this is
to
great.
just-
This
to
is
make
great
fun of me.
content.
But,
No, this is great content.
Yeah, to make fun of me, that's fine.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, if you can't make fun of your friends, who can you make fun of?
I like it.
That's terrific. I did not know this is the 100th, and
Yep.
we just. I said, let's go. Not getting like super sentimental.
Right.
My parents are gone.
Yep.
And my sister married to Micah. She's got kids, grandkids. Sometimes your families,
Shift.
They do.
Right.
Your parents, are that was kind of where we met. Again, we're still close.
Right.
I still see my brother and my sister and our families and all that stuff. But they've got their things. We do things. And my brother, he lives 2 hours, and and his family and their siblings. I mean, Micah's got a mother and family on that side.
Right.
So we're typically together at Christmas. So Thanksgiving, I was like, you know what? Let's go to New York.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, we threw out maybe doing Festivus earlier this year.
Okay.
Like in December, like
Yeah,
earlier.
so
December.
we're discussing family plans here. Sorry,
okay.
Andy. Hey, don't mind us. We're just having a podcast here between us.
I'll tell you, we're excited about our Thanksgiving plans. So we're actually going to go to L.A.
Oh,
And we were
nice.
kind of talking about this. We kind of got interrupted, but the reason why we're going out to L.A. is the Rams play. Now, I know how some of our people that are listening, how they feel about the Rams. I get it.
Scrams.
You either love them or you hate them.
But I like them now because Sarah's cousin, Robert Wright, which is Dr. Rick Wright's son,
Who is a graduate of Sikeston
who's a
High School.
graduate of Sikeston, and we can go into what Dr. Wright has done, but he's done great. But Robert is a football coach for the Rams now.
Yeah. He was at University of Miami, right?
He's been at Miami. He's been at Illinois. He's been at Iowa State. He's been at Duke. He's been at He's been at Texas A&M.
Rick keeps me up to date pretty well.
Buffalo.
On him. Yeah.
He was at Syracuse his last stint.
Okay.
He was co-defense coordinator at Syracuse. Anyway, he just got hired this offseason
Nice.
at LA Rams. So
Yeah.
we're like, we weren't able to go on a vacation this summer. So we're like, you know what? We have some time we could go. So we're actually going to go to Disneyland, and we're going to go to Warner Brothers.
Let me guess.
I will have it. I tell you. I do listen to some. I listen to some podcasts to what we should do and all that kind of stuff. And
I like Universal in California.
so have it. I don't know if we're going to do that, but we've thought about that.
Universal, and it's been 33 years ago when I went there, but I mean, like, it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, we've been to Universal in Florida.
Sarah, when you listen to this, throw Universal on his Excel spreadsheet and screw the whole thing up.
I don't know. It was just the first really 3D, 4-dimensional type ride I've ever experienced.
They're fun, but LA.
So what does he do for that?
He's a defensive assistant.
Oh, okay.
He's a defensive assistant coach.
Who's the DC? I don't even know.
You know what? I don't know.
I don't either.
I don't know. I just know that Roberts is coaching.
That's
and it's
awesome.
exciting, and they started training camp this week.
Yep.
And of course they're front runners to win the Super Bowl this year and all that. I'm not sure if you know that.
I did not. Who's their quarterback? Is it Stafford? It's
Yeah,
not Oh, still Stafford.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh yeah. They just got Myles Garrett.
I did see that.
Yeah.
That was a
and
big
Aaron
deal.
Donald's thinking about coming out of retirement. So anyway, they're playing on Wednesday night. They play the Packers. So we're going to parlay this into a lot of different things.
Sure.
Our plan is to go watch Wednesday night before Thanksgiving to watch the Rams and Packers.
Are we school out that whole week?
Yeah,
I was going to say
it's out that whole week.
I couldn't recall
Yeah.
how our calendar is. That's right.
Yeah.
I was going to say, surely you're not taking a Sikeston High School student out of class or two out of class.
No, I'm not taking two, and I'm not taking off during the school day either. No, I'm not, especially my first year. So,
I'm just giving you grief.
but Sam, Jack doesn't do a winter sport. Jack's my youngest, and Sam's my oldest. He is planning on wrestling again, and so he'll miss a couple practices, but no matches have started yet. And we've already kind of talked to Coach Michael about it and make sure he understood. And he actually missed a couple practices when we went to New York a few years ago.
Oh yeah,
for
Yep.
Thanksgiving.
Yep.
So.
We're looking forward to that. We're going way down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, we did.
Heck
Sorry.
no.
That's-
Heck no.
We want it to be conversational.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think people enjoy this more than they do. Let's interview them.
I don't want to get. We don't want it to be like an Spanish Inquisition or something like
The
that.
questions we do provide usually are in case we get stuck.
Yeah, we get hung up.
Yeah.
That's right. So
You want me to finish my career?
please, I'm sorry.
No,
yeah, we've gone. Man, we had
Yeah,
chased some rabbits.
Yeah, that's all right. So went to SEMO and then got fortunate to get hired on here at Sikeston. I started as A+ coordinator, placement coordinator, and then kind of moved into some other things with cadet teaching. Cadet teaching at that time was a little bit different. I actually created curriculum for that, and where kids would actually go out and teach, and they would learn the art of teaching and work with them, but they were also able to get A+ hours that way. That was another way for us to get some of our students get more A+ hours, because A+ scholarship, which is great opportunity for our kids.
If you want to mention that, please do.
So A+ scholarship is a way where kids can get 50 hours of tutoring on campus, on any of our campuses.
They provide tutoring.
They provide tutoring for anybody K through 12. It can't be on at church.
Right.
That would be community service. So some people get A+ hours in community service a little bit mixed up, but A+ hours has to be on school campus with our school kids, and they get a scholarship to any 2-year school in the state of Missouri, where they get tuition taken care of. Yep. So, and there's other requirements, GPA, attendance, test scores, and things like that.
The GPA is very reasonable.
It's reasonable.
Like 2.5 or something like that.
And then a 95% attendance rate, and then there's also, you have to be proficient on with math, with the math test. So anyway, it's a good thing. We have a lot of kids that get the scholarship, not necessarily use it, but it's a good fallback in case they need to use it.
Right.
So
Mr. Luke Tanner used his. Yeah. I can assure you.
Well, and that's the other thing. SAHEX, CMO, the scholarship really isn't for CMO because it's a 4-year university. Yeah. However, CMO has allowed kids to use it at the SAHEC, which is the extension here in Sikeston, where they can actually use the A+ scholarship. They'll just honor that, even though they're not getting funded from the state.
Right.
So anyway, I was coordinator for that. Manon Flagg actually started the A+. Manon Flagg, she was a former teacher that started that. She retired, and I replaced her during that. And it just started within a few years before I got there. It was a grant that started and then eventually moved on to a full-time thing. So I worked with her for a little bit, and then she retired, and then took over for that. But we had a few kids, but we weren't getting tons of kids involved. So we were trying to think of other ways. How can kids, because we got so many kids that are doing extracurricular activities or have jobs or anything where they can't always do after-school tutoring. How can we get kids to get tutoring inside the school hours? And so that's why we kind of meshed cadet teaching. That wasn't really a big thing. We might have 1 or 2 students that might go over there, but we created curriculum for it and started that. So
you got the 4 years to get 50 hours.
Correct.
So you can.
Oh yeah, you can
surely
get it
you
easy.
Want 10 hours in or 12 hours a year.
Yeah, but then with cadet teaching, you get your 50 hours in that semester.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
You'll get that. And you get to work with kids during the school day. You can help the teachers. And they go to elementary schools, and the elementary teachers like having another assistant in the classroom. Those little kids look up to the big high school kids.
Yep.
It's a win-win for everybody.
Yep.
So we created that. And then Michael Harris was a placement coordinator. Michael Harris worked for our school. I'm not sure if you know Michael or not, and he's a community member and big part of our community. And anyway, he worked for the school. He actually got had to go overseas because he was working. I'm not sure what branch he was with, but he went overseas.
Was he not in there with Doyle?
He might have been.
And don't hold me to that.
Was it National Guards? Or?
I think that's so, right. But he had to go overseas, and so. When I got hired to replace him while he was gone, in combination with A+ coordinator.
I know the Sikeston National Guards got deployed in.
Yep, that was that Charlie Company. Charlie Company or
Yep.
whatever. Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
I think that's right.
So when he came back, then we were just trying to figure out different things. And so when he came back, they actually asked me to help out with attendance. We had some attendance issues, and one thing with school is your APR, and you get looked at, and you might get knocked if your kids' attendance aren't doing well, your student attendance. So we were trying to pay attention to attendance a lot more. So they needed some extra help, so they asked me to do that. So I was part of that.
Part of your funding basically is based on the percentage of kids that come to school.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that kind of got me into a little bit of administration. On top of that, so which allowed me to work when Coach Kiefer moved out. He was athletic director. He moved into being assistant superintendent.
You coached football during this time, correct or not?
Yeah, I didn't even get into that. Yeah. So that's good segue here. Yeah, I was fortunate to coach football. Coach football under Coach Mint for 1 or 2 years, and then Coach Gibbs got hired, and then worked with him all the way through that time, and then also coached track. I don't know how I did it. Coach DeMint asked me because he had an opening in track. He asked me to coach jumps. I can't jump a math book, right? So I had to learn how to coach track, and I was fortunate to have some phenoms where we had Meaty
Cal?
No, this was before Cal. This was actually Dominique Fondon.
Oh yeah,
And Meaty Johnson.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Both of them as freshmen went triple jump to state their freshman year. So
Wow.
it was all coaching, not
Of course.
right. But
Well, that training going back and learning how to teach you the hammer throw.
Yeah, exactly.
It led into like
Watch some
being able-
VHS tapes, and suddenly you're an expert.
yeah, that time we did have the internet, so I might have had a little bit better chance of finding more resources. But coach track, and then did that for a couple years, and then actually Rick Oding.
Yeah.
Retired. He was the golf coach.
Yep.
And so I went to Coach Kiefer and I said, hey, listen, I want to coach golf. I'm not a good golfer, but I'll help out. And so anyway, you can't beat being a golf coach. And
We're back. Oh my gosh, we did this once already. Sorry, Andy.
that's all right.
When the hand goes up in the air,
Technology's great until it's not.
oh man, I just nudged this dadgum cord, but and it just stopped, and you can't restart it. And I had to do, like I said, the infamous IT trick: turn it off and turn it back on to get it work. Reboot. So pick back up.
Hey,
you were talking about
coaching
golf. Yep.
I was coaching golf. I wasn't a golfer. I didn't even pick up a club until college or after college. But
Andy's a good player. Don't let him lie to you.
But I'm being honest. I didn't play until college or after
Same
college.
here.
Yeah,
Same.
I was like, I told Coach Keefe, I was like, well, listen, if I can teach these kids how to do triple jump, I could at least help them out with golf swing. So, but I utilized Kevin a lot. Kevin Collins. I mean,
No, we're not giving him credit. I
don't know if I need to give him a whole lot of credit, but I had to utilize him as a swing coach. He did help out with swing, but I did try to help the other kids with course management and some drills and also etiquette and things like that.
Sure.
But that was fun. It was good. I actually got my golf game better because I was actually with the kids and working with the kids and playing with them and all that. So that was fun. And then, but coaching wise, those are the things that I did in the tenure at Sikeston.
Yeah.
We had some really good. My last year coaching golf, it's the last time we've had a team go to state.
Was that Gabe?
Gabe was a freshman.
Wow.
Gabe was a freshman, but we had I can't even remember. Don't put me on. You put me on the spot.
No,
here.
I just
can't remember the whole team off the top of my head. But we ended up getting 7th in the state, which was big deal for us.
Yep.
So
Yep.
but it's fun. I got a golfer at home that wants to try to make it to state. So hopefully he will have that opportunity before he graduates.
Yes. He's becoming quite prolific at golf. Has he beat the old man
He
yet?
has not beaten me yet.
He's told tales that he has.
He has not. He has now. The only thing he has outdrove me a few times, but he has not beat me yet. He has been in the lead after a few holes, and then I might have a few comments toward him to put a little pressure on him.
Got the mental game going.
And that does definitely help. But he's got to get stronger mentally. So anyway. Jack is he's doing good. He works hard and practices hard.
He does.
He's out there a lot. So
he's a loyal listener, by the way.
Yeah.
He tells me he listens all the time. We appreciate Jack.
He does, and I was thinking about bringing him, but he's actually out of town. So I thought it'd be good to actually.
Sorry,
have
Jack.
him. Yeah, I know.
So you missed your chance, Bubba.
He missed the opportunity.
Yeah.
So.
Catch you next time.
We'll catch him.
Yeah.
We'll catch him.
But I did quit coaching golf because I became the AD and assistant principal.
What year was that, by the way?
That was, when was that? 2012?
Really?
I think so. It was right after our 30-0. Maybe, yeah. I think 2012.
Holy cow.
Fact check that. But
No. I'm not. I just.
Yeah, I think I was AD assistant principal 2012 till 2020.
So probably the 11-12 school year kind of thing, or 12-13.
I think 12-13.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think 12-13.
So Keith was AD when we won
yes.
basketball state title.
Yeah,
All right, I think I remember that.
He
now.
was the AD for that. I do
That's
know
right.
That for a
Okay.
fact.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
But coach football that, and then still kept coaching football as being the AD for most of those 8 years I was AD, and we had some good teams then too.
Yes,
so
we did.
It was fun.
Yes, we did.
And then I'm not sure if you want to cut this out, but I did go I did go up north for
The only thing
40
Orange we
minutes.
like in Sikeston is
Basketball.
basketball.
Yeah. I will say this, and I'll tell you this, and I told you this, Matt.
You
I
have.
told other people that it was a good thing for Andy McGill, and it was a good thing for Cape Central, and it was a good thing for various reasons for me. And most more than anything is getting outside and actually seeing what other people do.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it doesn't mean Sikeston does anything better or worse. It's just seeing how
Different perspective.
different perspective, and then also networking and being able to work. And I've got friends that I keep in contact with all the time, still to this day, for just those 2 years that I was there.
Yeah.
And so I had a really good
Actually,
time. It was fun.
I've done a little work, like I did, I did school therapy here.
Yeah,
I did a little bit
right.
at Cape too. They were very friendly, very nice, very good people, really.
I don't want to hear all this nonsense.
And I will tell you this, in a general aspect,
kidding.
I know you are. And in a general aspect, kids are kids,
Yeah.
and they need to be taught. They need to be coached. It doesn't matter where you are and where they are. The kids are kids, and they're the same type of kids. And so, anyway, I thought it was good. And I coached football. I was assistant principal and an athletic director there, and coached football there for 2 years.
You were the athletic director there?
I was assistant principal for 1 year, and then I became the athletic director the next year.
Now, I don't know that I knew that.
Yeah. So they
I
actually,
knew when you left, you became assistant principal up there.
I did
Or was
for 1 year, and then
Okay.
they actually changed how they're doing
was it?
things.
What's his name there?
Tyson.
Lance? Oh no, Tyson.
Tyson
That's
Warriors.
right. That's
Yeah,
right.
Tyson Warriors. And then Tyson, they kind of created something different. And Cape is a different thing, and we've talked about this. And Cape is a different community than Sikeston.
Sure, of course.
And that, in fact, when I was at Cape, they asked a lot of questions. Well, how do you get the camaraderie? How do you get the community behind? Well, Cape has a lot more high schools than just Cape.
Yep.
A lot different than that. But there's a lot of other things going on. You have a major university. You have a lot of that. So one thing that they've done differently since that, and that's why I became high school athletic director, they created a position to allow Tyson to become the district athletic director. But he is helping out and doing a lot more, not just the big things as far as high school all the way down to junior high, but they created a little league program, intramural program for all the sports to try to create pride and community pride, build it from a younger age, to get the parents involved,
Interesting.
get the kids involved, the coaches are involved. So anyway, that's how I became the athletic director, is
I
because
see.
they created that position.
So, not correcting you, I'm just asking you. Are you technically the activities director, or is that pure?
There at Cape
Yeah.
and at Sikeston, yes, activities.
Tech-
and, yes,
I know we call it the AD, but you technically
oversee band, orchestra, choir,
right,
drama.
right,
Mhm.
right.
Yeah.
That I'm not trying to correct you. I was just
No,
making
no.
sure. I didn't know if they did that different. They had another person that did that, because technically, like with Matt here,
Right.
he's athletic director, but activities as
it's
well.
activities, yes.
Yeah.
Overall activities.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's I don't know when that kind of changed. I mean, was Kiefer technically activities director as well, or was that?
You know what? I don't know. Coach Kiefer filled in for Coach Vic. When Coach Vic retired.
Correct.
And Coach Vic was strictly an athletic director, not assistant principal. So as far as athletics versus activities, I don't know when that kind of merged and got in.
Yeah.
And maybe Coach Vic, it went all the way to Coach Vic. And
It
maybe
could have.
It was activities.
Yeah.
But I do know, and I appreciate you correcting me. Yes, I
Well-
was in charge of activities along with athletics.
Yes. Right. Right.
There's a lot that goes. I mean, now even like band is under the same.
Right.
Right.
stuff.
That's
Sort of
band,
saying
I mean,
choir.
like you have to have physicals to do band now.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
I did not
It's
know
been on
that.
for about five
marching band.
marching
Yeah.
band. Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
So there are some kids that are not in marching band. That are in the
Luke was in concert band. My
concert.
son,
Yeah.
I don't think
or
he.
jazz band or whatever.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to have it then, but if you're in marching band, yes, they do.
Interesting. Okay, I did not know
Yeah,
that.
they started that probably 3 or 4 years ago.
It's been a while. I mean,
Yeah. Maybe longer than that. Oh, no, definitely longer than that because
It was
I
right
at Cape.
before. Maybe
I was at Cape.
it was COVID, I think.
It might have been.
like
Yeah.
around-
Is that kind of when all that started?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that makes sense. So I was there for 2 years. One thing I will tell you, football wise, we were not very good, and I will tell you, and the reason why we went to New York, we're going to tie this back in. The reason why we went to New York 2 or 3 years ago was we actually had a trip to go to New York prior to that when I was at Cape. The reason why we booked it then is because we were 2-8 in football team the year before.
Oh yeah.
And so we were planning on going to D.C. and New York. Well, the next year, we ended up going to the semifinals.
That was the game.
We ended up playing MICDS in the quarters, upset MICDS in the quarterfinals.
Played Webb City.
No, we ended up playing, I need Jack here to tell me who's Osage, Fort Osage. We ended up playing Fort Osage in the semifinals at Cape. We lost to Fort Osage.
Okay.
Yeah.
They play Webb City a couple times in the semifinals, and
Was
that
that-
was before that.
That
And
was
they actually
Nathan Norman was the head
Yeah.
coach.
Oh, okay.
and
It's
they
been a
actually
while.
went and played at the Dome.
Yeah.
Played in the championship game against Webb City too.
Who?
Cape.
Cape?
Yeah, Nathan Norman was the head coach.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize it went that
They
far
had
back.
that Montgomery kid, that really good quarterback,
Yeah.
transferred from Chaffee.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Gosh.
Peyton Montgomery. I think.
Yeah,
Or-
because
yeah, Peyton Montgomery. I did say Montgomery though, didn't
Yeah,
I?
yeah, you did.
yeah.
No, that's right. Of all people, I remember Cord G High and I went up and watched Cape play Webb City.
Okay.
Webb City at Cape. I thought. Okay,
Oh,
that must have been
that was
before.
a lot
Okay.
further
Okay.
before, so.
I get my dates confused, but
It all runs together.
Yeah.
it does. It does.
And then after Cape, then I came back to Sikeston, came back home, and
Yep.
I've been assistant superintendent for 3 years, doing HR and doing some other things, and under Shannon, and then fortunate to be the superintendent as of July 1 of this year.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
been a month, almost a
Yeah. Yeah, I did. Yeah, you said that.
month
It's-
Saturday.
Yeah, that's been a whirlwind for you, I assume.
It has. It's been. It's. I've said this a lot, and I'm probably going to keep saying it. I've been to quite a few new superintendent meetings and conferences and things like that, and it's like drinking water out of a
Fire
fire
hose.
or a fire hose,
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
it is. It's
Yeah.
just a lot of things, and it's just not things that we haven't already been doing. Our district has already been doing it. It's just I haven't had to know those things, and I'm needed. We have people in place to do them, and we are doing them. It's just me having the knowledge to make sure that things are running smoothly and understand all the ins and outs of
Or even
things.
make sure you know who has to do,
Exactly.
like the person that's in charge of that. You know?
Do you have Shannon on speed dial, I assume?
Not yet,
Okay.
because she's still retired, and there's when you work for PSRS in the state of Missouri, retirement, when they retire, you can't talk to them school wise or anything like that for a month. For
Are
3
you
days.
kidding me?
No.
I
Wonder where that
Wow.
all come from.
Yeah.
I did
Just-
not realize that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, no wonder she's been traveling the world and doing all that stuff. And I saw her.
I think I've seen him at
No,
stoplights.
I have seen her.
Of course.
But you ask about speed dial. Well, I just we're not talking shop a whole lot.
Of course.
until hopefully in August. And
Okay.
then I might be meeting with her.
Bend her ear. No, okay. I mean, I saw her. I think she was going to the nail salon. We saw her
Okay.
the other day. So that's where she's spending her time now.
Well, I saw her at Twilight. We played Twilight last week for the first
Oh.
time, and I think they play Twilight quite a bit. So
I'm surprised they play with anybody around. I didn't think they.
they have their coach and Shannon have their people.
As Brian tells him, nobody's worried about you swinging. We're worried about our own game. We're not worried about you. We're like, you get out of the way so I can go,
Right,
kind of thing.
right.
Oh, that's hilarious. So when you, we talked about this before. When you were in high school, did you ever think this was going to be your career path?
To be the superintendent at
Yeah.
Sikeston High School
Yeah.
or Sikeston Public Schools? No. If you would have asked me that, I'd say you're crazy. You're absolutely
when you're
crazy.
48 years old or whatever.
Yeah, and all my buddies from 95, they're proud of me, and
course.
and of course, a lot of people in the community are proud of me and all that, and I think that's great. But no, when I was in high school, I was I did want to go in education. I was going to pursue education at William Jewell, and things kind of changed depending on how things. And I needed to graduate in 4 years, so I kind of changed my career, my path, my degree path. Maybe is the best way to put it. I ended up getting a psychology degree, and not in education, just because of the timing situation. But I still wanted to work with kids, and so that's why I ended up going into coaching, and just went a different path to get my teaching certificate.
Right.
But no, I wouldn't say desire, but I had no thought or recollection to even think about going into administration, much less be the superintendent, or much more be the superintendent. But I will tell you this, and I'm probably going to mess this up, but I went to a conference a few years ago, and one of the guest speakers that was there was Al Roker. You guys know Al Roker, the weather guy in NBC.
Talking about the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Yeah, good point. Got a lot of segues here.
I guess we need to make sure we're going. We keep talking about this.
So Al Roker was the main speaker and all that, and he said, I never wanted to be a weatherman. He was a radio guy. He wanted to be, if anything, he wanted to be kind of an anchor on a TV, one of the TV networks or whatever. Mm-hmm. But he said, when opportunity knocks, you gotta open the door. And he said that the opportunity for him was through weather, and he actually replaced a longtime weatherman. I want to get it. The older man that would actually have the 100-year-old birthdays he would celebrate.
Yes.
I can't think of his name right now, but anyway, he replaced him, and he worked weather before then. Al Roker did work weather before that. So anyway, when you say something and ask if I really wanted to be a superintendent, that was my goal. No, that wasn't my goal. But when opportunity knocks, I think when the door opens, you gotta go through it. So
Willard Scott.
Yeah.
Pulled up the old Google machine.
There you go.
I knew I could see him. I could see him.
Too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Willard, that's cool.
But yeah, it's kind of cool. And so anyway, that kind of stuck
right.
in my, and I was assistant superintendent at that time. It was a national conference, HR conference, and I thought that was really neat. I'll bring this up because I'm going to segue into something else, if that's all right.
Absolutely.
We've gone down enough rabbit holes. I was really upset. So the conference was in Chicago, so I took the train from Carbondale.
Interesting.
If you guys have ever gone to
I've never done that.
So I took the train from Carbondale up there. So I got a notification on my phone right when I boarded the train. And I wouldn't say the main reason, because it was the first time I ever going to this. I really didn't know what was going on, but I was really excited. Jason Sudeikis was going to be the main guy, the main person at this conference, not Al Roker. Al Roker wasn't even supposed to be there. Jason Sudeikis, if you don't know who Jason Sudeikis is, he's Ted Lasso. I am a huge Ted Lasso fan.
We've
absolutely huge Ted Lasso. So I was devastated getting on this train, and I see Jason Sudeikis. So taking a negative and putting it into a positive, that I definitely learned something from Al Roker, even though he wasn't Ted Lasso. And there's so many things that I utilize in my everyday in leadership and everything with Ted Lasso.
You played darts left-handed.
And I'm excited next week. Ted Lasso coming back.
Yes,
he's coming back.
Yes.
So anyway,
that's a cool segue. I didn't realize that you. Why did you take you just didn't want to drive essentially to Chicago?
Well, I'll be honest with you, it's cheaper. So if you ever go to Chicago,
fly out of Cape.
You can fly. That time we didn't have flights.
Oh yeah.
That time we didn't have flights.
Yeah.
But I think it was like $60 round trip.
Oh my gosh!
Well, when you stay in a hotel, it's $80 to park, $80 to $100 a night to park.
That's right.
Not counting your fuel. So It was actually cheaper. The school was paying for it.
Yep.
It was cheaper, and being cognizant of our money.
Right.
It was cheaper to take the train.
I have taken a train. We were in New York, and we took the train over to Pennsylvania, and then took it back. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I will have to say, and it was very. It was fine.
Yeah, you're able to do work if you need to do work or watch a movie, just like an airplane.
Right.
Excuse me. You just have multiple stops.
You do.
That you'll stop on along the way.
And those things they'll get rolling 80, 90 miles an hour. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not like you're just putting along.
Yep.
That's really cool. I didn't know that. Yep. Let me jump a little bit here. Just kind of thinking, you've already kind of had a similar role as far as in administration. You were an assistant principal, then assistant superintendent, and you've had your kids in the district and stuff like that. How do you, when you come home, how do you transition from dad to, well, even now, like, okay, I'm leading the whole thing, but even when you're assistant principal in high school or whatever, how do you turn that off? And I got to be dad at home and not Superintendent McGill.
Yeah, so superintendent, I've only been for a month, so
Right.
it's kind of hard to say what they feel and how they feel about that and all that.
I'm sure they're probably going. I'm not sure. They're probably going. I don't know how I feel about this kind of thing with my dad.
They might.
Yeah.
I before I applied and everything, I did definitely tell them, and I just feel like they need to understand and know what could happen. But so as far as superintendent, I really don't know.
Yeah.
But as far as being an assistant principal, athletic director, as far as being a coach, I mean,
Right.
Coaching and being
And
a
you
part.
got to coach your own son.
A
Or-
little bit, not really, and that's one thing that I wouldn't say second guess, but one thing I wish I could have coached both my kids.
Yeah.
So I have helped out a little bit with football the past few years.
I guess that's true, yeah.
But not in an everyday situation and all that. But they have been around and being an AD and being an assistant principal and being a coach. There's a lot of long hours, so they understand those hours. They understand that there's a lot of time away from home. One thing I've got great support with Sarah, and even her parents when the kids were younger, to be able to understand that I might not be home and understanding. And she actually had that with coaching college football. You put just as many hours in as far as what, if not more, away from home. So
Well, you're recruiting and stuff then.
yeah. So she understood that even part of that. So that's all they know as far as that goes. Now, as far as talking about school and all that, one thing we try to do as a family is when I get home, I'm home, and I try not to bring in
Your
school.
dad.
Yeah, I'm dad. I
yeah.
try not to bring school up. I don't want to. Sarah does such a good job of taking care of that aspect, as homework and making sure all that kind of stuff. And they don't share it. I mean, they're teenage boys.
I'm not going to tell you anything.
They don't talk about anything anyway. I mean, you got to pull everything out of them. Now, Jack
Exactly.
likes to talk. Don't get me wrong, but it's not anything else. It's talking about sports and other stuff. It's not talking about school. Now, we will talk about football. We will talk about high school Bulldog football and
Right.
all that.
Right.
Sam has asked quite a few times, asked me to watch film, and we'll do that type of thing. But as far as school goes and all that, I try to be dad, like you said.
Yeah. I'm interested just as a side note to see how it is now that you're essentially leading the school. How that and it probably should be more the same.
I would think so. I don't think that's going to change a whole lot. And I try not to bring work home. I don't think that's fair to them or fair to anybody more than
Right.
anything. It's just even
not
myself.
fair to you.
Yeah,
No,
even
right.
myself. I mean, just
Right.
you need a break at some point. And sometimes, you get phone calls, and you got to take phone calls at 7, 8 o'clock at night from various people, and you got to take care of it. And I walk out of the room, and they know that if I'm walking out of the room, that it's going to deal with work, and they
I'll
don't
be
even
right
ask,
back.
They'll be right back, and I don't ask any questions. It's just part of it.
Yeah.
So
Seeing you're just a month in, and of course I've had the benefit of being on the interview with you and kind of understanding that. But just for those that don't necessarily have that perspective, what would you say your top priorities, so to speak, like leading the district now? What are some of the things you're looking at?
So we've met as a CO staff, our central office staff, multiple times this summer, and we're going to meet as an administrative staff, all building administrators. We're going to meet next week, and then I'll address all staff in a few weeks at all school breakfast.
Yep.
I think our biggest focus, number one, is, and we're proud of this, is we passed a bond issue in April.
Yeah.
and we are going to have major building projects going on.
Yep.
By adding 18 classrooms to the two newer elementary schools with Lee Hunter and Wing Elementary, and then we're going to add performing arts classrooms to replace the band show. And so, number one, our priority is that building projects. But on top of that, with the bond issue, is there are a lot of moving parts with personnel, and we want to be transparent. And we've already started telling since spring, we've been telling, we want to make sure our teachers and all employees, it doesn't matter if you're a principal all the way down to a secretary, nurse, counselor, first grade teacher, anybody that's involved, we want to be transparent and make sure they understand what our plan is and why we need to make changes, because changes are going to have to be made.
Yeah.
We're going from 3 elementary schools down to 2.
Right.
We're not going to make everybody happy, but if we can have personal conversations with those people involved, we want to make sure we have those conversations and tell our why, so then they understand where we're coming from. So number one, I think the bond issue, that I'm not sure if a lot of people know, but public education is under scrutiny. It's there's a bullseye under public education for multiple reasons. I don't want to get in political.
No, right.
I don't want to get into that.
Right.
But there are budget constraints that have come from last year's budget going into this year's budget on top of into the near future. Mm-hmm. And so I think number 2 goal would be dealing with the budget and trying to reduce expenditures, but also trying to figure out ways that we can create revenues. Unfortunately, we can't make a widget.
Right.
Our product is young men and women trying to produce them to become become good citizens, either our community or other future communities. So that's our product.
And make sure they're educated.
Yes,
obviously.
of course. Yeah, that's what we do. But at the same time, that doesn't create a lot of money revenue coming in. We have to utilize taxes, state funding. We have to utilize local taxes, local funding, and it's one thing I'm learning, and one thing I'm striving to understand even more of where that funding comes from the different parts. So we got cut, and the rules have been changed in the middle of the game to put it in a different aspect, and rules are still changing. And so trying to adapt to that is going to be another big goal for us financially, and how we're going to adapt moving forward. The one thing that I've told the staff through an email, not face-to-face yet, one thing we've told central office is that we want to take people, and we are more worried about people than we are programs. We want to make sure our people are taken care of more so than adding programs or adding things and items. Yeah. And so that's a big thing that we're wanting to make sure. And then the last. I was just going to say, just for clarification for some that don't know, when we say local taxes, I say we, because I'm on the school board, we don't get sales tax and things like that. We get property tax and personal property tax. That's how a portion, local. That's a portion of the income that the school receives is from that. So when you go to buy laundry detergent or whatever and pay sales tax, that does not come to the school. Right. So, because I've heard people say, well, why are you raising our property taxes? Go put out a sales tax bond. I'm like, schools don't do that in Missouri. Different. Right.
Now, maybe there are other states, I suppose, but anyway, I just want to clarify that for some folks don't know that.
No, that's true. Thank you. Sure. And then the last goal, I think the third goal that I would say is efficiency. We're dealing with budgets. We have for the last few years, we have looked at if anybody leaves the district, we want to see, okay, what are their job duties? What do they do? Not just teachers, but just all personnel. Is this something that we need to replace, or is this something that we can redistribute? And with that, if we haven't replaced people, we need to make sure those duties are taken care of. But we also need to make sure we're organized and actually look and be efficient with how we're doing things.
You know anybody that's organized?
No.
This is the guy that gets a spreadsheet out to go on a vacation.
So we're going to try to look at things this year. It's going to take some time, but I feel like we need to look at some things differently. But for us to look at things differently, we need to write it down and see, all right, what is everybody doing? How are we doing things? And are there ways that we can do things differently to become more efficient? It's nothing wrong. One thing about Sikeston is tradition. We have a lot of tradition.
Yeah.
And tradition sets us apart from other school districts.
Yep.
No doubt about it. But just because we have a tradition doesn't mean we can't tweak things and can't look at things a little bit differently.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to challenge us and challenge myself and challenge our staff. How can we do things to become more efficient?
Uh-huh.
And you don't really know until you know what everybody's doing first. And especially if people are leaving, things can get lost in the shuffle. And we want to make sure that doesn't happen.
Right.
So I would say, again, bond issue, looking at budget, and then looking at efficiency. Well, those would be top three that I would say off the top of my head.
Yeah, I love that. I'm very excited too. I think when the building starts and the kids will see it and the town sees it and all those things, I think that will continue to build excitement for sure. And there have been a lot of positive things. We continue to see positive things that the school does with our town, and there's a lot of good things going on. I know the budget, and Andy's first meeting, and we're like digging down this budget, and you're like, oh my gosh, it will get better.
Well, you got to control what you can control.
That's it.
And we can't control state funding.
That's right.
We can possibly look at what we do differently locally and how we do things. We can look at, again, efficiency. How can we create revenue somehow, some way?
Yeah.
One thing social media probably has seen, we have raised ticket prices for athletics. I haven't heard a whole lot of negativity about it, but we've also created more value to that ticket.
Yeah.
So before you used to have an all sports pass, you would pay for that separately, where an all sports pass could get you in junior high games, get you in JV games, get you in a volleyball game, football game, basketball. It gets all sports. Well, that you had to buy that separately if you had a reserve seat. So you'd have to have that. So we created more value by adding more to the reserve seats if you had it, but you're also getting an all sports pass to allow you to get into all the games for the remainder of the school year. So,
reserve seating for football, right?
Reserve seating for football. We're probably going to raise prices for basketball also, but we usually don't do basketball reserve seats until closer to the season. So we will do that also.
Well,
but you'll also have an all sports pass.
I understand everything's going up. The ticket price has literally been this when I was in high school. Right. Now, the school's not out to like gouge. We're not going to $40 a ticket or nothing like that. But I mean, $2. I mean, everywhere you go, you pay $5 or $7 to get in a doggone basketball game. Yeah. It's going to be the best $5 you've ever spent. I mean, it's. I get it. Gas is I get all that, but.
We're just trying to think of different ways to be creative.
Correct.
Other than just raising things by looking, again, trying to look outside the box and trying to do different things. And that's what we need to do in other areas also within our school district.
Right. And I think it's important to understand, too, like you talked about, just because somebody leaves, they're out, we're doing away with that position. It doesn't mean that at all.
No, not at all. I mean, if we got to have it, we're going to have it. I mean, and we're again, we've got to take the number one goal is to take care of our kids and provide a good education for our kids, and they need to become good young men and women when they leave and graduate.
Yep.
And to do that, we need to be as fully staffed as possible without missing anything. And if we can add a little bit more to somebody else, if they're able to, then we're going to do that. Or if we can spread out those job duties. If we can't, then we're going to hire that.
Yeah.
So we just need to look and think, because we got to be good stewards of our taxpayers' money.
Right. When the board decided to go to the two schools and add on to each one, and of course that created maybe more just unknown. Mm-hmm. What's this going to look like? if I'm a teacher at Southeast or Lee Hunter or Wing, what's this going to look like when we get done? And I know that was the transparency you're talking about. But how do we continue? I feel like, that's how I want to say this. There are some times, and not so long ago, that our school struggled with sort of telling our story and having goodwill with our town, so to speak. I feel like we're in a really good place. How do we continue that, I guess, is where...
I've got an idea, and actually we still talked to our team today. We had a team meeting today, and I'll be honest with you, I haven't talked to this person yet. That I don't want to release anything because I don't even know if it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I hate to put that person on the spot.
Of course, no, don't do that.
But one thing, how I'll answer this, and it's not really going to answer it, but you're right. I feel like we're in a better spot of telling our story. However, educators don't tell their stories very well.
Yeah.
We don't boast. We do, but we don't do a good job of showing all the good things that are happening all the way from kindergarten to high school, SETs. I mean, middle school, junior high. We don't do a great job of showcasing our food service. We don't do a good job of showcasing. We just do, and sometimes in the flip side, we have more negativity because the negativity speaks louder than some of these good things.
Even though the negativity is few and far between,
exactly.
and it's a loud minority sometimes.
Sometimes, I just got back from the lake from a conference and had a guy speak, and I thought it was great, and he had a PowerPoint. I might use this sometime, but he showed a fake Twitter post or a Facebook post. He said, "You'll never see this," and some made up person, and says, My kid's bus showed up on time, 5 stars.
That's right.
You don't see that, right?
No.
I mean, you don't.
We say the cops don't pull you over and go, you're doing a great job driving.
Exactly.
Staying between the lines.
Yeah, going under the speed limit.
But we have an idea. We've got an idea that I feel like we're going to involve some community members and an outlet that we have here.
Awesome.
And I could showcase that later. Hopefully, I was planning on having a phone call today, actually, to that person. I wish I would have, and then I could have.
Breaking news, man. We love breaking news on
maybe
here.
when you do an intro the next week, maybe I'll have an answer. You could say that. But
perfect.
I don't feel like I would do that person.
No, of course, no,
justice if I didn't have that conversation first. But we've got to do a good job. We got to continue doing a good job, and even keep adding on of showcasing not just our staff but our kids. I mean, there's a lot of great things that are happening with our kids.
Yeah. And
we have so many different opportunities that our community members and our people don't really realize some of the opportunities that we give, that Sikeston Public Schools gives to our kids.
Well, I feel like as well some of the things that we've done better. I feel like we're pretty doggone transparent with our community, just like. And sometimes you learn those things the hard way, because when we got that bond issue defeated in 2014, I think, and it got beat handily. Mm-hmm. I think the townsfolk and our constituents said, "Hey, this almost sounded like a ratification. You had the deal done, and then you just came to us to ratify." Right. I feel like we've kind of flipped that on its head and was like, "Okay, we got you." Yeah. And we've had town halls and tell us, we can't have 500 people trying to design a building and tell us what color the carpet is and stuff like that. But help us, do you like this? Do we not like this? And again, I feel like that transparency's been pretty good, in my opinion. Yeah, the key to good communication is listening. It's true. You got to listen more than really what you need to talk. Yeah. And you might not see eye to eye all the time, but at least if you listen to what they have to say or what people have to say, they get a voice. And that's the biggest thing, is just allowing and providing people with a voice, and then go from there and take the best. When it gets down to it, no matter what decisions are made, you're always looking at what decision is going to be best for the district as a whole. correct.
So
That's correct.
And many people get that. That's hard for people to understand that there's so much systems are so
We've
involved.
got 300 kids in the district. We
Right.
can't. We worry about them all. We can't say we're going to do this big thing and worry about 4 kids
Right.
or whatever.
Well, and when it gets down to it, we're parents.
Yeah.
We're going to look at our kids here, but understanding the big picture, and there's bigger things that are involved within a whole district.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
anyway, but to do that is listening and being transparent and being upfront. And I feel like we have. Shannon has done a great job with that. Natalie has done a great job the past few years of doing that and making sure that we are transparent to our community.
Agreed.
And being out and being visible. I mean,
That's
you got to be out,
big thing.
being visible, and that's when you can start having those conversations and just having those organic conversations with people
At a ball game.
and build relationships and trust, and that's really what's key. Whether
Yep.
it's a ball game or at the coffee shop or
Yep.
or at Mexican
Church or whatever.
church or wherever it may be. So
I agree. I think that is paramount. The trust is, you might, at the end of the day, like you said, we're not going to agree on everything, but you know what? I think people know Andy or know whatever. If they trust the school, they're like, okay, all right, I'm going to trust them to make the best decision for the whole thing. But well, where do you hope you are? Where are you in 5 years kind of thing. What do you? I know you've got some goals and what you want to do, but what do you see going ahead for us?
The biggest thing is, and again, I kind of told you, is where are we as a district within the state and in public education, and we've got to fight for ourselves. Public education is different than private. I mean, it's just you get a totally different experience. But actually, I think it's a better experience. Now, I don't know personally. I never taught or coached or went to a private school. Now, I did go to a private university, but it's different than a public education.
Sure.
Because you're paying for that. But having that, the thing that I love about it is the power of people. You're able to make changes and change lives by people. And what I mean by that is I've had a lot of coaches and teachers that changed my life and shaped my life. And that's really one of the main reasons I came back to Sikeston. I mean, just to give back to the community and give back to the school system that changed my life. But also the people, not just teachers and coaches, but your peers. I've talked about 95 and we kind of kid around on that, but I'm tight knit with a lot of friends that I come in contact, that I've still in contact with and see on a monthly or 3 or 4 times a year type basis, and make sure that if we're in St. Louis, we get caught up and we have dinner or whatever it might be. So keeping that, I think keeping that and allowing other kids to have that opportunity to change their lives and our staff, and be proud of being from Sikeston and want to come back. And you see that a lot right now. Mm-hmm. You see that with a lot of people coming back and seeing those former students come back to us. And
As an old dog, I love it.
And that keeps you proud of, you know what, we actually did something right. Mm-hmm. when I was a younger teacher and a younger coach, that not just us, not just our school system, but our community, where they wanted to start a family and come back. And the more that we have of that, the more pride we'll have, which we already have, but the more pride you'll have, not only in the community, but also create more pride for those kids, for the younger generations too. So I'm not sure if I answered your question about goals or anything like that,
no,
but
that's fine.
I want to continue that. I feel like we need to continue that, because that was a big part of my life, and how Sikeston Public Schools changed my life. So.
And you want the same experience.
Exactly.
For your
and what I'm proud of, that my kids are going to have that same thing. I graduated from Sikeston. Sarah graduated from Sikeston. Both our boys graduated from Sikeston. Sarah's parents, both my parents graduated from Sikeston. So
wow,
that's
quite a legacy.
Yeah,
there.
I mean that's prideful to say.
Of course. That's I'm also curious on something, and really wasn't even one of the questions here, but how's it going to be this year? Not really having a headset on, and you're going to be sitting down there with the watching from the stands kind of thing.
Yeah, it'll be weird. It'll be weird. So
you're sitting there thinking, no, don't run that defense, run this, run that, or whatever. And not second guessing, but in your mind. I don't mean that in a bad way.
I've set out a couple years where not doing that, but for the most part, since 1999, I've been heavily involved in football of some sort. Coach May and I still bounce a lot of ideas off each other. He calls me quite a bit. I call him, and we have a good relationship.
Yeah.
I feel like he still wants me to be involved and still watch film and all that kind of stuff. So I might be on the back end of it. I might not have a headset on and be up in the box, or I might be on the track watching. But
call you Coach Sarakas. He does that still. Even though he's not coaching, he's still available if they need him to break down some game film and stuff like that.
Talk to Coach Clun. He asked me to come in sometimes on some Sundays if I'm around, so we can talk. And
by the way, talking about Greg, who's now going to be the DC this year, right?
Yeah.
And I told him, I was like, hey, we want you on. Come on. He goes, man, let's come on after the season, and then y'all can blow me up. Yeah, we can give you a hard time. I was like, okay. But
I'll tell you, for my kids, they love Coach Clun. I think he brings a lot of excitement. I know you had Coach Lambert on, and they're good. They mesh well together.
Oh, yeah.
And bring a lot of excitement to the kids. And that's the thing. The kids need excitement. And so it's not just always about X's and O's. You still want them to be in the right position to make the tackles or whatever it may be, and they still need to be in the right coverage and all that. But you also need to have energy and excitement when you get out there.
I think many people don't understand that what sports brings to education.
Yeah.
I mean, like, excitement.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it is kind of boring to go and learn about history and stuff like that. I mean,
depends on the teacher.
Yeah,
it depends on the teacher. But you're right. But extracurriculars is an extension of the classroom.
Yeah.
And just because whether it's sports, whether it's FFA, whatever Stuco, whatever it may be, everybody has their own niche.
Yep.
And you got to find your own niche.
I wish there. I mean, like, I'll be honest with you. I know there's probably private schools that make you be in an organization or a sporting. Like, so many kids nowadays don't want to do anything, and I feel like they don't see hope in a lot of things.
I think when you get down to it, that's why what started with Coach Clun. I mean, you got to have that exciting sponsor or to bring some kids in, and then other kids
create the excitement.
Yeah, other kids are going to bring other kids in. I mean, look at the different opportunities than we had back when we were in school. First of all, we didn't have esports.
No,
right?
for sure.
I mean, you didn't have esports, but you talk about creating a different opportunity for kids that don't want to be involved in true athletics of competing on the floor, on the court, or on the field, but they're still competing. They're competing in their own way, and they're having excitement. And heck, we've got some state champions, in Super Mario Brothers and all sorts of stuff. I don't know all of it, but
no, it's real.
If we didn't have that opportunity for those kids, they can do it on their own.
They can get scholarships and stuff from this. Yeah, it's not like it's a.
Well, I'm saying that. I think that's why building into the band, the music, and even the arts. Period. You know what I mean?
We. Speaking from a board perspective, and Andy was on the central office team at that time, we felt like that sometimes there's a perception that gets a back seat, and we make sure that in this we don't want it to get that perception that we think band important, we think drama is important, we think choir is important, and we're going to be investing a lot of treasure, so to speak, for that to show that. And because not every kid is a quarterback, or not every kid's an athlete.
Right.
Well, I couldn't even play sport. I mean, like, I could, but I'd done other things.
Right. And so it's very important that those kids have those opportunities, just like you're talking about.
Opportunities. Public education is allowing those opportunities for those kids to find their way, and whatever that is, and whatever that means for each individual.
Yep.
So, but you're right. It's an extension of the classroom. And the other thing is coaches and sponsors. Your good coaches and sponsors are going to be your best teachers too.
Mm-hmm.
Good point. Good point. Now this is basically is this your debut? Are you a debutante now? Is this your debut? We're
social media podcast debut.
Yeah,
this is my first. I watch and listen to a lot of podcasts, but not on a podcast.
This is your public debut to Sikeston, to the community.
Yeah.
Is there something you want to tell every student, if you could get them all together, K through 12, and they were sitting down, and you could say, here's one thing I want you to know about the school, or one thing I want you to know from the guy sitting at the top, sort of thing.
Well, I think more than anything, taking it from somebody like me, and one thing I didn't mention is we moved back to Sikeston. My mom my mom and dad are divorced. I have a great relationship with both of them, but when it gets down to it, I was the oldest of 4 in a single parent home, right? And so not necessarily had the best of everything. It doesn't matter where you come from. You do matter. And the thing that I want every Sikeston public school student to understand is you do matter, you are cared about, and we want you to be successful. And it doesn't matter what your mom and dad, or if you even have a mom and dad, it doesn't matter. You will have support, and we want you to be successful, and whatever that means for success for you. Yeah. And I think that's the biggest thing that I would say is that I'm a tribute to that. Whereas it wasn't the ideal situation for me personally, but I overcame that. And I've coached and I've taught kids that have been in a lot worse shapes than I have. And I've given, what's good is that what's awesome that I love is actually seeing those individuals afterwards. I was actually taking my dad. My dad came in town in July, and I was taking him up to the airport. Yes, he lives in Dallas, and I try to get him to fly out of Cape because it's brand new, right?
Just gonna say,
well, he already had a ticket, and he had free miles and stuff like that. So I drove him up to St. Louis, which is good. I mean, it's good bonding time and all that. So we stopped in Perryville at the roads, Perryville, and stopped to get gas and something.
If you're going to St. Louis, you have to make the obligatory Perryville stop.
Yes. So we stopped, and I was walking after I was filling up. I was walking in, and I hear Coach McGill just yelling out of the blue. Well, as a former student, I'm not going to say who it is.
No, I understand.
Because I'm going to tell you a story that's not really good in his life. But we started talking, and he just thanked me for all the things and all this kind of stuff. And I didn't tell him this story, but the biggest story that came to my mind from him is he got a concussion in football. So Coach Gibbs and I went to the emergency room afterwards. We were there, and he had his family there. His mom was there, and a brother and all that. And the mom just left. She actually stole his wallet, left. I had to stay, and I took him home. And just knowing where he came from, and now he's working in a construction. He actually owned his own business at one time and then sold that business and now working for a company out of Cape and building and contracting and all that kind of stuff, and seeing the success stories of that, and him coming and stopping me. Like, I didn't see him. He didn't have to yell at me or anything like that, and to thank me for some of the things that we've done, and not in that situation. Yeah. But that's why I don't want to say his name. Just no. I
understand. I totally understand.
There are so many opportunities at Sikeston Public Schools, and to answer your question about kids is what I would say is that take advantage of those and embrace the help that you have, and the people, and the love that people have for you, and want to see people be successful. So,
wow, that's great.
Yeah,
that's great.
I'll tell you what I take most out of that is where you said they matter. I mean, like kids.
Absolutely.
I think that was probably most of what you just said is the kids matter.
Yeah, they do. And I spoke to our new teachers earlier this week, and I said one thing. We're talking about our why. And why you do things. Well, we definitely don't do it for the money. If you're a teacher and you're in education, you're not doing it for the money. You're doing it for intrinsic values. You're doing it to change lives, and that's what I mean by the power of people. Like, people can change lives, and that's why you are in education, and that's why you work with kids or with adults that have issues. And so you do it for that reason. You do it to see the change and to see how they become. And that's, I mean, there's so many times that we've given coach to kids, and we have the Bulldog Pantry. We have all these things to help kids out because they need that. But anyway, I love the success stories. I love hearing back or seeing how kids can strive even when they're not dealt a full hand. Absolutely.
One thing that came to mind when you, I'm kind of jumping around, you know, we've been on schedule. We've been very organized tonight, Andy. We haven't jumped around at all. I was thinking about something when you were sitting there talking. I remember when you went to that school up north, and as they say, I shan't say the name. I remember Brian James, who is one of my dear friends, and he called me. He goes, "Man, Matt, Sikeston Public Schools just got a little bit worse today," and that was a tribute to you. But he was like, "Man, I hate that."
Well,
things happen, and not whatever. But he just like, which I thought that was a positive indication of you. He's like, "Man, we just got a little bit worse today." Yeah.
Well,
and that's almost almost verbatim what he said.
Well, I think highly of Brian and all that. I will say this, and I know we are off subject, but things happen for a reason. God has a reason. We don't know. We don't know why. And I would tell that to kids. We don't know why things happen. There are a lot of bad things happen to good people, and a lot worse things that happen to any of us three.
Yep.
I've got friends that have had some bad things, and so, but it's the good thing that I see, the thing that I see and that I love about Sikeston community is the people that back you, even though there are bad things that you see that positivity come back, and you can see the light afterwards.
You and I've talked about this. Just to be frank, I was like, you know what? Had you not left and come back, you may not be in this position. We don't know.
Right.
We just don't know.
Well, and but again, that happens, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And God has a plan, and we just don't know what that is.
Well, my favorite scripture, we're talking about God, scripture, James chapter 1, verses 2 and 3, consider it pure joy when you face trials and tribulations, because it makes you mature and lacking nothing. So, like, don't ask why something's happening to you. Ask, what am I to learn?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
It's hard to see it when you're in the storm.
Oh,
Right?
what are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's hard to see.
What are you talking about?
But when you get out of it, right? You're like, you reflect. And
I'll be honest with you. I mean, like, a lot of people I see, like, that have things going, they are stuck on the why.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a good reason to know why you do something, but, like, sometimes why is very hard to answer, and it can't be answered.
Yep.
I was going to say, you may not ever know.
Yeah. At least this side of heaven, you ain't going to know.
Yeah. Well, Micah, what am I to learn by leaving that flipping gum over here? I told you, and I sat in it last week, and it's still on the couch over here. I got to scrape it off.
Well,
I totally forgot.
You got to learn that you got to clean it up tonight.
I had gum in my mouth. Took it out, and I sat it up here, and it fell down, and then I sat on
That's
it.
why it's been so, like...
I'm trying to stay away from it, and I'm like, what am I to learn? Don't make sure you throw your gum away before you come down here.
At least put it under the table or something.
Yeah, like your kids stick it on the bottom.
Yeah, I'm the school teacher here.
No, we don't do that. We don't see any gum in our cafeteria tables.
Heck no. They stopped that when we got the iPads. I mean, they don't do that anymore. Heck no.
They switched from iPads, didn't they?
I'm going to Chromebooks. Whatever.
We are going to Chromebooks.
Yeah, whatever. All right, a couple things before we get to our lightning round. When I know you're just getting started, but what do you hope that people have to say, like, after the Andy McGill administration's over? What do you hope? What do you hope is your legacy, so to speak?
Well,
I know you're just getting started.
Well, I'm just getting started, but it's not about me. I hope. I don't mean to elude your question, but it's not about me. It's about what's the betterment of the school district. And I think as a person, not necessarily as a superintendent, I hope people think that I care, that I have integrity, that we try to make decisions of what's best for the school district and the future of the school district. And that I'm a team player. That's the thing. It's not about me, and that's one thing we talked about today. And it's, central office team is we're making a team decision here. It's not an Andy McGill decision. We're making everything that we do is going to be about us and what we think is best. Now, ultimately, somebody's got to make the decision, right?
Yep.
So, and I'll use an old Coach Gibbs quote, and Coach Gibbs and I go way back, and we were a good team. But he'll say, Coach McGill, I got 51%. I want your opinion, but I got 51%. And so when it gets down to it, the only way that you work well as a team is to provide a voice for everybody and to be able to that voice to be heard. And so I want to make sure that I'm a part of a team. I've been a part of a team, multiple teams throughout my career, not just athletically. Right. And I've set the bench. And I've been the top dog, and it doesn't matter. Everybody's got a chance. And I read a book, John Maxwell, talk about where you can lead from anywhere. And it doesn't matter what position you have, you can still lead from anywhere. So I don't know. I probably didn't answer your question.
No, that's fine. No. You did.
I don't want to look at it egotistically as a legacy for Andy McGill.
Yeah.
Let's look at the legacy for Sikeston Public Schools.
Well, that will be your legacy.
And hopefully Sikeston Public Schools in a better spot than when I took over. And I took over, we're in a great spot. I mean, just past the bond issue. Shannon's done a great job. And those are big shoes to fill. Now, I'll never wear her heels.
But you mean you're not going to go hoop in some heels?
I'm not going to go hoop any heels. I'll try to hoop. I might not hoop very well, but I'll try to hoop. But anyway, those are big shoes to fill for her, and meaning that that's a respect for her that we are moving in the right direction, and I want to continue that train moving in the right direction and try to make it even better. But it ain't about me. It's about us as a team, and it's about our Sikeston Public Schools and our community and the buy-in that we have.
I love it. Let's shoot to the last section here.
Okay.
We're about an hour and a half in, by the way.
Really?
Which is fine. It's fine.
Okay.
Because we paused and we were about 20-something minutes. Now we're an hour now, so it's all good.
All right.
All good. Who was your favorite teacher when you were in high school?
So I got a bunch, and of course we all have a bunch, right?
Yep.
But if I didn't say this, I'm probably not in the same spot because of this. Miss Burge, if you guys know Miss Judy Burge, God rest her soul, she might not have been my favorite teacher. However, she's the one that pushed Sarah and I to date.
Did she really?
Yes,
That's awesome.
So I was kind of wanting to see and kind of seeing a little bit of this other girl, and she was in my accounting class. Miss Burge was our Red Pepper sponsor.
Oh,
Sarah was the Cayenne.
And Miss Troop?
Miss Troop was the head cheer coach.
Oh, okay. Well, she's sort of kind of involved with Red Peppers.
At that time, they were all together. They had separate duties. So when Miss Burge got out, they kind of combined Red Peppers and cheerleading. They were always together, but at that time, you had the head cheer coach and you had the Red Pepper sponsor. Now, they were tandem. They were best friends.
Oh, yeah.
And they were tied to the hip.
Oh, yeah.
But Miss Burge was our accounting teacher my senior year. I didn't have class with Sarah in accounting, but she worked with Sarah quite a bit because Sarah was the Cayenne. And anyway, she knew me and all that kind of stuff. And you can't do this now, but Miss Burge would throw erasers at me to get my attention and all that. So anyway, she wasn't. I wouldn't say that she was my favorite because I had a lot of good teachers and fortunate to have a lot of good teachers. But I'd be remiss to say if I didn't say Miss Burge because she's the one that pushed for me to ask Sarah to prom and all that kind of stuff. And then
now here we are, two kids and a mortgage later, right?
Yeah, history later. So.
What's one of your favorite memories as a student? So,
I've had quite a few great memories. In 1995, again, the best class in Sikeston history. but I will say, and I played football. We had some exciting basketball games. I know we've had some exciting basketball recent history with Coach Hallfield, and we've had a lot of good runs. But we went to the Final Four for the first time in 1995.
Yep.
The quarterfinals in UMSL, we played
Easy for you to say.
Hazelwood Central. We were down again. Need the James brothers here.
Yeah.
We were down, I think, 11 with just under 2 minutes left,
I think that's exactly right.
and we came back and won that game.
Yeah.
I was always in the front row. I missed one basketball game our senior year because I was working. I worked at Super D. If you guys know where
I do.
I used to.
Over by Stan's.
Well,
That one?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, where it's bottles and barrels now.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, I had to miss the Malta game, and we actually lost that game.
Way to go, Andy.
We shouldn't even lost that. Well, it was because I didn't go.
That's what I mean.
Right?
Way to
'Cause
go.
I had to work. But anyway, I would say Hazelwood Central. We ended up going to the Final Four for the first time in basketball history.
You remember the infamous, or the, not infamous, the famous call
Which one?
by Kenny Moon?
Oh, yeah. We're going to Columbia. Oh, yeah.
We're going to Columbia.
Yeah. Oh,
We're
yeah.
going to Columbia. We're going to Columbia.
But if you actually watch video review, and this is what's ironic, is I was always on the front row. I stormed the court, right? I end up tackling Garrett Taylor, and then end up going into Coach Johnson.
Oh,
Coach
boy.
Johnson and Garrett are on the floor, and then all of a sudden, then I feel everybody else getting on top of me.
Oh, my gosh.
And we've got cheerleaders all over the floor. We got Coach Johnson. Coach Johnson, typical Coach Johnson. He's doing this and having a good time in the middle of this pile.
Oh, my gosh.
And so anyway, if you talk about a famous or most iconic time, that would be the most iconic time for me as a high school student. And then now, and it was always funny, I don't know if it was Sarah or maybe some of my friends, when I became athletic director and assistant principal, I was in charge of making sure nobody charged the court, and then I was the one that did it in 1995.
I'd say our administration staff didn't do a great job of that this year either.
They did not.
Which I would have had a problem if they would have. How about that? As a board member, I don't know what I could have done because I was leading the charge too. I was out there
it
pretty
all
quick.
worked out. It was fun.
It was fun.
It was fun.
It was fun.
It was
and
fun.
it was. I thought it was respectful. I didn't. I'm
Didn't-
sure maybe Vianney didn't think it was respectful, but
No.
that's okay. I'm not necessarily concerned about what Vianney thinks. Well, I won't go into that right now.
We won't go back to last year when like stopping on the Bulldog. You know?
Yeah, I know. Well,
Well, this is supposed to be a lightning round, and I'm giving stories. I'm
it
sorry.
is. No, that's okay. That's okay. We like it. We like it. Favorite school lunch growing up?
So back in the day, we actually had open campus
Yep.
all the time.
Yep.
I didn't have a car until my senior year, so I rode with guys and all that. My mom, I already told you, single mom, she didn't have a lot of money. I had $10 for the week.
Yep.
That's all I got. I got $2 a day.
Yep.
So I was really limited on where I could actually go. Like sometimes we go to Mazzio's. I couldn't afford the whole pizza buffet, so I'd have to just get the salad buffet, or I'd get 4 tacos at Taco Bell for $2 back
Yep.
then, or whatever.
Yep.
So on Taco Tuesday,
Yep.
and so I don't know. So I'm not answering your question.
No,
I
it's fine. I get it.
We went to various restaurants and,
Yep.
and would try to go to the spots, and then I might have to borrow a couple dollars here and there from some people to be able to have a full. But I'd eat chili at Bo's, and
Yep.
you get a bowl of chili for $2, and
Some of the, I'm going back a little further. I used to like the old, like a rectangle
Yeah.
pizza
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
cracker
Oh,
with
that's my
the
favorite.
baseball player on
Oh,
there.
yeah.
I used to love those. That was my favorite.
yeah.
My favorite was a square pizza.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
I like
Rectangle
it.
pizza.
They
roll it
they'll
up.
still do it.
Really?
Sometimes for breakfast, which is odd.
It's a breakfast of champions.
Yeah.
You didn't know that? I thought it had to be leftover
That was
pizza.
leftover pizza.
Leftover
Do
pizza.
you remember the corn in it?
No, I don't
In the
remember.
pizza?
In pizza.
Oh yeah, there was pizza. That
Corn.
They had corn in it.
Maybe
Like
y'all
one
did in
kernel?
Charleston.
Like one kernel of corn?
Yeah, it'd just be like a little kernel every
That did in Charleston. We don't have that over here. What the heck?
We had sausage or pepperoni.
We did too, but
had the-
every now
corn.
and then, every now and then you see like a corn in it. And I was like,
I'm just, never mind. I can't go
I ate a
there
lot.
with that.
I ate a lot
Gotta
of
keep it PG.
no smoking.
That's funny.
Oh, Lord. Okay. Coffee or Diet Coke?
Coffee.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite restaurant?
Wherever my kids want to go, which is normally Mexican, and you just pick the Mexican. Now they're on to Don's. That's the one they like to go to.
Don
now.
Manuel's?
Don Manuel's.
Yeah. Well, we saw you there Not all that long ago.
It's now it's getting embarrassing. Where like people say, "Well, I think we see you here all the time." Well, it's because
you got kids.
That's because you do see me here all the time. That's right. Where's your favorite vacation spot?
So I haven't had a vacation in a while. Probably the last thing, seriously, with the boys, the summer schedule, all that kind of stuff. Transitioning this year, we definitely didn't go. Of course, you know, I already mentioned my father-in-law. He has a place down in Destin that we like to go to the beach.
Of course.
It's Miramar Beach, which is just outside of Destin.
Yeah.
So, of course, I like Disney World. I'm a big Disney World freak. I don't know why. Probably because I never got to go when I was a kid.
Same.
And so I love it, and I use it as a challenge to try to one time. And again, I'm showing my dorkiness here. I told the kid, and the kids actually flaked out on it, but we went to all 4 parks in one day. So
Lord have mercy.
We were on Space Mountain about 9:30 at night after being at the other 3, and the boys, they tapped out. They're like, "We're done.
Let's go home."
I said, "But we got two more rides to go." No, Dad, we got to go. So Mom and Dad outlasted them.
So you didn't watch the parade and the fireworks?
Oh,
No.
You can do that a different night.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a story on myself, I guess, real quick. So we took Luke when Luke was 8, and so we're down there. Did you guys stay on property? What they call like one of the hotels on property? Okay, we stayed in All Star. I think it's All Star Sports. I don't remember. Whatever. So we stayed there. And of course, when you go, if you've been, you can you take the buses on property. You know, you don't have to drive. You go to the hotel and then you take their transportation around. So whatever day this was, I was dragging. I'm like, I want to go back to the room. I'm tired. I see the bus we are getting on already at the thing, and I'm like, oh no, you're not leaving. So I take off running, and they got the cattle stall things. You got to go through. Well, so this would have been 2000. I think it was 2013. So we're talking about 12 years ago. I mean, I'm a young 40-year-old. I'm athletic. I can do this. So I'm going to hop over these rails. Not jump, not leap, but put your hand like this and throw yourself over and kind of swing your legs over. Well, let's just say I didn't make it. And I
ate concrete.
Oh my gosh. And so, of course, by that time, I'm picking myself up, and I'm Aaron and Luke, the bus fortunately waits. I'm sure they probably felt sorry for me because, I scraped my elbows, cracked my watch, and did all this stuff. And we get on there, and I'm bleeding, on my elbow. And Luke goes, "Dad, you got to go to the ER." And I'm like, "No." And so, I'm doing the walk of shame, sitting in the front where nobody's paying attention. So I'll just give you don't try to jump the cattle stalls.
No, I'm the one that gets everybody up early. I'm an early riser, and I try to get everybody up. So I'm the first one in the stalls. I'm not the one chasing it.
So what's the first just Disney? What's the first park to open in the? Well,
it varies, right? So it just depends on that wherever. It just varies. Sometimes they change them depending on late. Sometimes they'll have late hours and all that kind of stuff. So you just got to look at the schedule and see. We've started our mornings on a different ones depending to try to maximize as many hours as you can in the park. And that's the other thing. It's so dang expensive to go. So that's why I was like,
Mickey's a pickpocket.
If we're going to go, we're going to we're going to take advantage. It's kind of like golf. Right? Every swing counts, so I try to get as many swings as I can.
Exactly.
That's why I have so many high scores.
So you're going to Disneyland this year, right?
We're going to go to Disneyland. Yeah, we're going to go to Disneyland for 2 days, and we haven't bought tickets.
I think it's a lot
yet.
Smaller.
It is.
I think it is smaller.
I've done, it's a lot smaller.
Yeah.
But it's the original.
Right.
So that's what's kind of cool.
That's the original.
Yeah, that's original. Florida's the
I thought it was opposite. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, it's the original. That's why it's smaller, and maybe because Anaheim, there's not as much room to grow. I don't know.
Right. Right. Yeah, I think they went down to Orlando. It wasn't. Orlando wasn't what it is now.
Yeah. I agree.
We just answered this question: early bird or night owl?
Yeah, I would say early bird.
I agree.
Yeah.
I do recall this one time I had to take Luke, again, he was in like junior high, up to the high school or key club or something, and they were leaving at like 7 or 6:30, and I get there and Andy's already in his office.
Yeah.
When he was working. He was there like bright and early.
When I was coaching football and being AD, the big thing I would do, I would try to take care of a lot of things before school started. You never know what's going to happen during the school day. I mean, you just never know. As an assistant principal, you just don't know what's going to happen. So I would always try to get there early to get a lot of things done. And then sometimes for practice, you have to leave right after school to get ready for practice. So especially in season, I would always try to get there extra early to take care of a lot of things.
Yeah, for sure. One word that describes Sikeston.
So I'm going to cheat. Can I cheat on this? We've broken all the rules.
Don't
already,
stop
right?
now. Yeah.
Don't kind of add a hyphen.
Okay.
I'm going to add a hyphen.
There we
I'm going to
go.
put tradition. We've already talked about that. And we kind of talked about this, but I'm going to put progressive. Tradition hyphen progressive. And the reason I'll say that is we talked about these I say young kids, but all these people that are coming back, these kids that are coming back into our community. I know you had Dee on here, and we have other young. There's so many more that are involved in our chamber, in our community, that are adding. They have the tradition, but they're wanting to make Sikeston even better than what it was. Yeah. And so I think we're being progressive, and I think it's awesome to watch these kids, these high school kids that I taught and coached, to come back and give back to our community, but also try to make it a better place. And so I think it's fun to watch. So I feel like Sikeston community is tradition. We have so much pride and tradition, but we're also being progressive and looking to try to make it even better.
That's a great answer. Great answer. One word you hope defines your leadership.
Servant.
That's right up. Micah, could he pick a better word?
No. Well, I think that's the way you do lead.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that realizing that people need to be served. I mean, and people, it's kind of, what is the saying that I think Theodore Roosevelt was, people don't care what you know until they know you care.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and I think you got to take that servant heart.
Yeah. And no job is too small. And that's the thing. Right. I mean, like when I was AD, I'm okay with picking up chairs and trash and all that. I mean, that's just part of it. I mean, you try to help out, and there's no job that's too small. And if you do that, if people see that you do that, then all that does is carry on for other things, not only at that time but also in the future. And one thing, I'm not sure if you know John Gordon. I read some books, and John Gordon is a guy I follow. He's a big guy that speaks on leadership. Mm-hmm. And one of the books, and he does a lot of books that are small. And I've started.
If they have a lot of color, a lot of pictures in them, I could probably read it.
There are some. There are some. But one of the books I've read, and the kids probably won't like that I said this, and I gave them for a Christmas present a book, and they're small books, but they're like 50 pages, and you could read them in a day, in an hour or two. One word is one of the books, and so I challenged our kids to read it during Christmas break. I know I'm a bad parent that they had to read,
jerk,
but what the point of the book is you get a new word each year. Everybody has a New Year's resolution, and half the time, if they're like me, that New Year's resolution is done within 2 months or 3 months or whatever,
less.
or less, right? And you challenge yourself to save money or lose weight or whatever it may be, and then you have one mess up and you're done, and you're like, oh well, I'm done. That resolution's dead. Well, the point of this book is you pick one word that you will strive to do and be. So I've had one of my words is integrity, and I've done this with. I used to have a group of kids to build leadership. We had a leadership club, BLT, Bulldog Leadership Team, that I would meet with once a month, and we'd have lunch and all that kind of stuff when I was AD and assistant principal. And one of the projects I had is they did this one word project and they painted their word on a rock. Well, I did the same thing with my boys and our family. And so my word this year is serve, is what I'm trying to say. And that's the reason why I'm bringing this up.
Yeah.
It's like you have different words. And so my word this year would be to serve. And I want to serve not only Sikeston Public Schools, but the community and all that. And so next year we'll have one. But what's so good about this is what as a dad, I take pride in is the boys actually asked Sarah and I, are we going to do the one word again next year? Or coming up, which actually... Even though Dad made them read a book during Christmas, it actually meant something to them. So they actually put their word into, and they paint it. We make a little project. They paint it and they put it up on their mirror in their bathroom, so they see it every day. You're going to fail. You're not always going to do that, but at the same time, that's something you can strive for to become a better person for that year. So
I love that. Love that. All right, last one. Finish this sentence. Once a bulldog.
Always a bulldog. I don't know.
That was
Is there
that was a
anything
layup.
else? Yeah.
That was a layup.
You put that on a tee.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah. No. Andy, man, we have we've gone all over the place in places I never thought we'd go.
He didn't have a spreadsheet for us.
He didn't. See what happens when you're not organized, Andy? We go all over the place, and
it wouldn't have mattered.
No, we're going to chase rabbits.
I added to that chaos too. I'm sure.
No. We love it. We love it. That's what makes these interesting, and people want to listen to. Is there anything that you feel like you didn't say that you're like, man, I want to make sure I mention this when I'm on there? Now, I will say, Andy's one of the first guys that we've seen come in. He's like, can I have my notes? I'm like, well, yeah, you can have your notes. And I noticed they were in red.
Yeah.
He didn't even pencil them in. He typed them out and printed them in red. So.
Yeah, I got them. I hardly looked at them.
No, it's all good.
All over the place.
That's all right. I'm telling you, we bring books on here. And
No, we have to. I mean, we have these, and just so we have some notes to make sure that we've.
No, I don't.
Okay.
One thing, I appreciate what you guys do. I think this is just another avenue. We talk about telling our story. This is another avenue for other people in our community to tell the story.
Yeah.
And I think and I appreciate what you guys do. I told you this off air. I was like, I feel bad because I don't listen to every single podcast. Now, Jack McGill does.
Absolutely,
he's
Jack
all
McGill
about
does.
You'd be surprised at how many. I'm surprised at how many I've had kids come up and be like.
Yeah.
Like, you're a bulldog, a doghouse. I was like, yeah.
And it's good to see the maturation of where you guys started and where it's going, and who knows how it's even going to end.
Right.
And so keep doing it. I encourage you all to guys keep doing it, keep pushing.
Thank you. So, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Interesting. You talked about tradition. We got the doghouse name from the doghouse,
for
building.
Sure. Oh,
That's as a shout out to the old doghouse.
Yeah. So my class, the 95 best class, so I'll keep saying that. We were ninth graders, which didn't spend a lot of time in the doghouse. That was the last time. So 92 is when the field house got renovated.
Yep.
Doghouse got condemned, or 91, 92. The weight room and the field house the weight room was the new one, what we have now.
Yep.
Currently was renovated in 92.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Yeah, I got to spend all 4 years in the doghouse, and as I told somebody, it smelled like a doghouse. You can just imagine what it would smell like a locker room. That's just the way it is. But anyway, last thing, give us some. You got 3 recommendations for us?
So we already mentioned one of his names, and I would say he might be one of the GOATs.
Absolutely.
Superintendent is Bob Buchanan. You need to get Dr. Buchanan on this. I'm not sure if you've had him or not.
I have not.
I've utilized him.
That is a great one.
In conversations. You talk about history, and you mentioned Rick and all that, but you talk about history of people and community members and stories. But I've already been his ear and been with him multiple times for guidance and advice in my short tenure of being superintendent. So
he's always Dr. Buchanan to me. He's like,
Dr.
stop calling me Dr. I'm like,
he's Dr. Buchanan.
I can't call you Bob. Yeah. You understand that?
I don't.
I know. The same.
Yeah.
And he's told me. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No. Just like Mr. Sherman.
Yep.
It's Mr. Sherman.
It is Mr. Sherman.
Or Mr. Rest his soul, Mr. Priday or whatever. It's just
And then we also mentioned this person's name too. And this person's won more state championships than Coach Hollifield. It's Miss Troop. Miss Troop, and we could go down the list of all the different teachers, but you talk about a different angle of activities and athletics, and also being a teacher and all that. I mean,
I'll have to catch her when she's not on
in
a world
Yeah.
the world traveler.
I've had people suggest her to me.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay, sounds like that's one we need to get.
Yeah. And then when you sent that to me, I wondered, and again, I don't know who all you've asked and who people have been on and all that. So I know these people definitely haven't. I've got so many friends in 1995 that I feel like that have great stories. Okay. And so I'm going to mention two, but there's definitely more. But I've already mentioned Garrett Taylor. Garrett Taylor is a 3-sport athlete from Sikeston. Had records in
has some passing records.
Passing records in football. I think he's in the Hall of Fame. And he's got a good story, even being a dad and some adversity and all that I think would go a long way with your people. And then his parents are still in this community and all that. So I think that would be a good one. One that's not in here that you'd have to zoom in.
Yeah.
Another, and again, I'm looking at the sports side because I know that you don't always concentrate on the sport, but
that's where we started.
You tie in.
Yep.
But so I'm thinking he's sports, and then at Sikeston. But another one is Kevin Vent. I'm not sure if you know Kevin. Kevin was a baseball player.
Somebody who mentioned him. Somebody mentioned him. I've got him written down on my deal upstairs.
And I've got numbers if you want.
Okay. So his brother Brian's
at Malden.
Yeah,
he's a teacher at Malden.
Was a couple years younger than me. I knew Kevin was in your class. He played.
He played baseball in the minor leagues. Got all the way to AAA.
Yeah.
For the Giants. Got drafted in the 7th round. He started his. He played baseball here. Skinny little kid that could throw 90 miles an hour.
Right.
And went to Mineral Area Community College. Then went to the University of Arkansas.
Okay.
Pitched 2 years at University of Arkansas. Got drafted in the 7th round.
Giants?
To the Giants.
Yeah.
Yeah. Made it all the way to AAA. So anyway, he's got a good story as far as that goes. As far as going from, and he moved in kind of like I did. He and I moved in to Sikeston at the same time, our 9th grade year.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I remember when they moved here.
So Brian was a senior when he moved here. His dad worked for Malone and Hyde and got transferred from Arkansas. That's how
I knew they were
started.
Arkansas folks.
Yeah. I spent a lot of time at Garrett and Kevin's houses to get away from my siblings. I would go spend the night at their house and spend a lot of time over there and anyway, their parents took me in quite a bit too.
Where is Kevin now?
He's in Little Rock, North Little Rock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. In fact, he came up to see me about a month or two ago, and we played golf. He came in to see his mom and see Brian, his brother in Malden, and we played golf, and then he went back to Little Rock. So anyway, that came to my mind.
Absolutely.
When you asked that. So
that's awesome.
Those are hopefully different folks than what you.
They all of them are. Somebody had mentioned Kevin Vent because I've got it written down somewhere, and that was who mentioned that?
I can't remember.
Somebody mentioned him, and I don't remember who it was. Yeah. But I'll look back. But anyway, man, thank you. Yeah. Thanks for spending this time with us. I know it's been a whirlwind. Like you said, you're drinking from a fire hose or fire hydrant.
Yeah, it was.
Right now, taking time from your family. Tell Sarah thank you for allowing you to come over here. And I know you said Jack's out of town. I guess
actually Sarah's out of town with Jack. So Sarah.
Did Sam go?
So Sam's with the squirrels.
Okay.
He has physical therapy on his arm tomorrow.
Okay.
So she went to go get him today.
Okay.
Going to pick him up tomorrow morning. This is their off day. The Squirrels are 2-0.
I did see that.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yes.
2-0.
Yes.
They just beat a really, really good Branson team. I was texting with Minner last night.
Where did they say that coach? Minner said that coach from Branson. Was he at William Woods or?
I don't know.
He was from somewhere. Maybe Cape. He was from Cape.
Oh, really?
The head baseball coach.
Played baseball at Cape?
Yeah.
High school?
I think he graduated in 95.
Really? I wonder what his name was.
Oh, my.
Well,
I have to look
Anyway.
back.
either
Yeah.
way, that's what Sarah and Jack
Okay.
went over there to pick him up.
I see.
And
Okay.
So it's their off day. The Squirrels' off
Yeah.
day. They're going to.
They went to
the
a Springfield Cardinals
Springfield
game,
Cardinals
right?
game
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah.
Minor league game. So
Okay, cool.
yeah,
Cool. Well, anyway, so you're batching. Heck, you.
I'm batching. Yeah.
Yeah, and no district's not open tomorrow, so
Well, I got a law seminar tomorrow morning, so
that's your own fault
yeah,
for scheduling that on the days when
it's something that's already scheduled that I need to go to. So I'll be going to that. It's up at Cape, so it's not too far.
Gotcha.
So.
It's
Well-
Brandon West.
Brandon West. I don't remember that name.
Yeah, he played in 90.
I didn't play baseball,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Garrett and Kevin, they would know
Yeah.
probably. Tally Haynes is one of the ones I remember.
Yeah.
Off that.
Brandon West.
I think Cape might have won state the year before us, or maybe the year after. Or maybe it was that year. Cape won state baseball championship right around our senior year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't realize that. Well,
Well, anyway, it was
Yeah,
interesting.
well,
we digress again.
yeah, no. All good. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on, hanging out with us for a little while, chatting us up. Thanks for the stories and the chasing the rabbits. We appreciate it. Obviously, we're going to be supporting you in what we do, and we'll tell your story best we can right here. So,
I'm Micah Harris.
I'm Matt Tanner. You know how we finish them.
How's that?
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Go
Go
Dogs.
Dogs.